A month after the judge in the Ghislaine Maxwell case ruled to have hundreds of names that are connected to Jeffrey Epstein made public for the first time ever, the documents are finally here. And way sooner than I expected. So soon, in fact, that it kind of coincides with us putting out a video of us going over the case entirely while we were waiting for the documents to drop. So this video is going to contain part of that as a refresher to understand what's going on, and also what's going through the testimony of the victims and some of the perpetrators, at least Ghislaine Maxwell, people connected to them who work with them, and the names of the people who are alleged to have committed crimes with Epstein and or Maxwell, and where they committed those crimes. And there's a lot of people who are named here that I was not expecting, and some that you absolutely were. So if you like this type of content, please hit the subscribe button to never miss out on another video up on the channel, and be sure to understand that some viewers' discretion is advised for this type of content. So I hope you enjoy, and thanks for watching. There's a couple of things I saw floating around the other day that I want to take a look at. So I just want to look at it super quick. The relevant part in the video of the stream is 1342 to 1430 details Dershowitz working, keeping Epstein's sentence as light as possible, and names from coming out. Also, very interesting Trump quote. Okay, let's see. I need a little update on who exactly Alan Dershowitz is. Like, I know about this name, but I don't know exactly who he is as a person. His middle name is Morton? Nah, he is a criminal, ain't he? Alan Morton Dershowitz. Born September 1st, 1930, an American lawyer and law professor known for his work in the U.S. constitutional law and the American criminal law. From 1964 to 2013, he taught at Harvard Law School, where he was appointed as a Felix Frankers professor in law in 1993. Dershowitz is a regular media contributor, political commentator, and legal analyst. Dershowitz has taken on a high profile and often unpopular cases and clients. As of 2009, he had won 13 of the 15 murder and attempted murder cases he handled as a criminal appellate lawyer. Oh my lord. This guy is cleaning out Gotham Asylum. That's crazy. This guy can get you off anything. Saul IRL. This is insane. This is the lawyer that keeps Batman as a superhero, man. That's insane. Aren't people making betting pools online? I haven't seen that, but I would not be surprised about that. I was thinking about making like a bingo board. Anyways, Dershowitz has represented such celebrity clients as Mike Tyson, Patty Hearst, Leon Hemsley, Julian Assange, and Jim Baker. Major legal victories have included 2 successful appeals that overturned convictions for Harry Reams in 1976, and then 1984 for Klaus von Bülow, who had been convicted of the attempted murder of his wife, Sunny. In 1995, Dershowitz served as the appellate advisor for the murder of O.J. Simpson, a part of the legal dream team, along with Johnny Kuchrin and F. Lee Bailey. He was a member of the Harvey Weinstein's defense team in 2018 and President Donald Trump's defense team for his first impeachment in 2020. He was a member of Jeffrey Epstein's defense team and helped to negotiate a 2006 non-prosecution agreement on Epstein's behalf. Is this guy just a legal wizard? He can just do whatever he wants. He can just do what. This is crazy to me how he has such like a W streak. With like he's like the worst richest people online, like in the world. If you're like a terrible person who can afford like his time, you will be free. It doesn't even matter. You did the crime, you will be free. This guy got off the most notorious PDF to almost probably ever exist outside of like Genghis Khan. And he got like a non-prosecution sentence for him. This is insane. He's also listed in Epstein's Black Book. I don't know much about that, but we can look that up today. What do you think? Is the Black Book just like a list of contacts? Does Epstein's contact list? Because if that's the case, then that doesn't really mean anything. Of course, his lawyer is going to be on his contact list. It's a ledger of who's used the flights, I believe. Scary. I financer and sex offender. Dershowitz is the author of several books about politics and law, including Reversal of Fortune, Inside the von Bulow Case, the basis of the 1990 film. I'm not sure if I want to say that word. That may be a slur. Reasonable Doubts, the Criminal Justice System, and the O.J. Simpson Case. The Case for Israel. Oh, okay. And The Case for Peace. Ooh. His two most recent works are The Case for Impeaching Donald Trump, 2018, Guilt by Association, The Challenge of Proving Innocent in the Age of #MeToo. What the hell? In 2019. An ardent Zionist and supporter of Israel, he's written several books on the Arab-Israeli conflict. Okay. Sounds about right. Look up his opinions on age of consent laws. Is that a real thing? Nah, that guy eats kids. Dershowitz made a suggestion in the 1997 op-ed in the Los Angeles Times suggesting that 15 was a reasonable age of consent, no matter how old the partner was. Is that real? Why 16? The New Yorker published a profile on the lawyer and academic Alan Dershowitz. It likely did not intend to spark a spirited debate about the age of consent, but when a stray comment about an op-ed Dershowitz pinned in the 90s advocating for reducing the legal age of consent led to that op-ed surfacing on Twitter, Dershowitz felt compelled to speak up in his defense, a decision which, unsurprisingly, led to heavy backlash. Alan Dershowitz, and he calls himself the Dersh. I stand by the constitutional, not moral argument I offered in my controversial op-ed. If a 16-year-old has the constitutional right to have an abortion without the state or parental interference, how could she not have the constitutional right to engage in consensual sex? I mean, she can, but with other 16-year-olds, not like with 30-year-olds. And, you know, I challenge my readers to distinguish the case as a matter of constitutional law. I did not suggest that that it is moral to have sex with a 16-year-old, but rather the issue presents a constitutional conundrum worthy of discussion. Okay. All right, then. This is gonna be nutty. I don't know, man. I never trust this type of stuff, but I don't know. Let's just read on and see what's going on. Not really, Dersh. Not the Dersh. They didn't catch the Dersh, did they? Yet the knee-jerk response to Dershowitz's op-ed is one we should take a moment to think about more deeply. Okay. Granted, Dershowitz is hardly a supporter of sexual freedom, and his argument in favor of lowering the age of consent, which seems primarily concerned with the plight of men who might wind up in jail for the crime of lusting after a young teen, is shaky at best. But while his motivation may be suspect, it's worth asking whether consent laws are actually the best way to protect young people from abuse and exploitation. I mean, sure, but he doesn't he doesn't care about this. It seems like by the op-ed how it's being described here, which we haven't read yet, so keep that in mind, that he's concerned more about people getting roped in with like jailbait than actually like harming children. If Tom Hanks isn't on that list, I'll eat my shorts. Anyways, we're not here to talk about Lux Aptrium, the Cut article author. We're here to talk about Alan Dershowitz.
Underage girls acting as his sex slaves.
Yes.
This is documented in federal court. Wouldn't you know it, Alan Dershowitz was involved in his legal defense and was also involved in crafting the plea that sent Jeffrey Epstein to prison for a very short amount of time for what the crimes he did, but most importantly kept it out of federal court, and also kept any of the victims or accusers from testifying.
Yep.
Or releasing any of the other names, naming anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump in 2002 tells New York Magazine, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life."
So I'm reading.
Hey, hashtag QAnon. I want to look into that.
Oh, he was going undercover, dude. Donald Trump was going undercover on.
Listen, you've heard about 4D chess. Donald Trump is playing quantum chess. You don't even understand it. You don't even get it. This guy has been undercover, keeping an eye on Epstein for years, watching everything that was going on, even having to get in there himself. I'm telling you, man. This guy knows what's up. No doubt about it. He enjoys his social life. Crazy statement from a crazy man. Ooh, crazy state. And here's the thing, Donald Trump is like, oh yeah, I was best friends with Epstein. They're like actually hanging out like boys constantly, literally constantly. And then all of a sudden, like actually out of nowhere, he goes like, I've barely seen this guy in my entire life. Honestly, didn't he say that he knew about what was going on for so long? So like he knew what was going on for such a long time. So apparently he didn't do anything about it. He just did nothing about it. And he didn't make it his number one thing when he was in office to be able to prosecute his old bestie Epstein. He just never talked about him anymore. It's so weird. You're trying to forget your ex behavior, right? By trying to erasing them out of photos. I've never seen this person in my entire life. I mean, Trump's the person who said that he's known Ghislaine Maxwell for a long time. Yeah, he wished her well and said, I've known her for a while.
Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison, and so a lot of people want to know if she's going to turn in powerful people. And I know you've talked in the past about Prince Andrew, and you've criticized Bill Clinton's behavior. I'm wondering, do you feel that she's going to turn in powerful men? How do you see that working out?
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well. Whatever it is, I don't know the situation with Prince Andrew. Just don't know. Not aware of it.
Crazy. He also said that he doesn't know Prince Andrew when he's actually has many pictures of him hanging out with Prince Andrew. I met her many times, but I don't know the situation, and I wish her well. No clue what's going on. I know her. I've met her a lot, but like no clue what's really going on. Anyway, see you later. I wish her well. Sure, buddy. This guy's life should actually be over. If we're gonna be honest with you, this guy's life should simply just be over. DOJ finds Alex Acosta used poor judgment in Jeffrey Epstein deal. Poor judgment in Epstein deal. Hey, I'll let him have this non-prosecutorial lightest sentence I could ever possibly imagine to give to someone. Poor judgment. Poor judgment is what they say. The Department of Justice review found that Alex Acosta, President Donald Trump's former labor secretary, exercised poor judgment when, as a U.S. attorney in Florida, he gave sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein a non-prosecution agreement. But the review did not find that Acosta or prosecutors engaged in professional misconduct. The review of the department's Office of Professional Responsibility also found that Acosta had used poor judgment when he failed to notify the girls of the young women who allegedly were abused by Epstein about the decision to not prosecute the multi-millionaire on federal charges. Acosta resigned as labor secretary in July 2019, less than a week after the federal prosecutors in Manhattan unsealed an indictment charging Epstein with running a sex trafficking operation in which he abused dozens of underage girls in New York and Florida from 2002 to 5. The new charges drew scrutiny by the Justice Department handling of the investigation a decade earlier when Acosta was the U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida. Epstein died by suicide in federal jail in August 2019. Miami Herald investigation published in November 2018, which helped kickstart the New York inquiry, described the plea deal negotiated by Acosta as the deal of a lifetime. In the 2007 deal, Epstein avoided federal charges and served only 13 months in state prison for prostitution charges concerning his sexual involvement with underage girls. That's crazy. I mean, honestly, in 2007, this should have been the case that put him in jail for life. Acosta met privately and negotiated directly with one of Epstein's lawyers in the law firm where Acosta had previously partnered. After months of negotiating, Acosta's office declined to prosecute Epstein on federal charges. A draft 60-count indictment was a set of Epstein ability federal charges. Yeah, I think he wasn't accused of misconduct because it was in his ability to do it. Like, it was in his ability. It was in his ability to do that. He could have done it. They just said he shouldn't have done that. So he didn't go like above and beyond to do something like necessarily illegal, but he definitely should not have done that. The Dersh. He was got by the Dersh. Can you imagine getting Dershed once again? Hate to see it, Dershed again. Yet we're supposed to believe right-wingers when they pretend to care about. Here's the crazy thing about it, okay? Donald Trump is actually such QAnon bait. It's actually like the proof that QAnon and these people actually don't care about children and being abused is the fact that they still want to vote for Donald Trump. These people, the same way they came for like Mike Pence, if they were anywhere near actually like reasonable in their beliefs, they would be saying the same thing about Donald Trump. It's crazy. You're telling me the guy that gave the most sweetest heart deal to one of the world's worst people to ever exist, put him into his administration as a labor secretary, and didn't even kick him out when he realized apparently he realized that he was that he was the lawyer that actually did it, and he just left by his own will? You didn't kick him out, and you're best friends with this guy too for like the longest time, and you said you knew about this guy? Like, who you? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? And I'm telling you, while this was all going down, people were like, Balenciaga had like a picture of a kid holding a weird looking teddy bear, and then all of these people go on like a pedo hunt. But the guy who's actually best friends with like the Giga PDF, and who gave a sweetheart deal to him to keep him out of prison so he could be a PDF even longer in the real world. And then also like the lawyer who gave him that sweetheart deal, he rewarded him by putting him in one of the top spots in his administration. And you're telling me that none of you care? None of you care. None of you care at all. Okay. Yeah, it's always been Team Blood Sports. They could not care about anything else. My agenda. My agenda. Come on, man. Bill Clinton. Did I hear Bill Clinton's name mentioned? No. But now you did. Conservatives can actually literally do whatever they want. It does not matter. No conservative cares, or like conservative leaning independent or like moderate. They actually don't care. I'm telling you, you could be like pedo Hitler, and they actually would be like, at least they're not Nancy Pelosi. I'm telling you, like half of these people would vote for pedo Hitler over Nancy Pelosi. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, these people are out of their mind. Those Epstein drops got me stressing. This is the thing. This is the nice part about not watching too much media, is that I'm not attached to many, if any, actors, actresses, or rich or famous people. Meaning that like a bunch of people could be Giga PDF and I kind of won't care because I have no clue who they were and I don't respect any of their work. All right. This is what we're working with. All right. I think attachment 1, 2, 3, attachment 1, 2, and 3 are ones that we don't really need to worry about too much. There isn't too much here. Just like exhibit 4 is the first one. I'm out of my depth to understand defamation and other legal hazards and on the law. I guess this is Ghislaine Maxwell to Philip Barden Roscoe. Now, one thing to keep in mind here is that you probably won't recognize a lot of these names. I'm out of my depth to understand defamation and other legal hazards, and I don't want to end up in a lawsuit aimed at me, if I can help it. Apparently, even saying Virginia is a liar is a hazard. I have never been in a suit, criminal or civil, and want it to stay that way. Well, I'm sorry, but like you trafficking children is definitely going to put you in jail one day. This is in 2015. The U.S. lawyers for the Jane Does are filing additional discovery motions, and if I speak, I'm opening myself up to being part of the discovery. Apparently, I am trying to stay out of litigation, and I have to employ lawyers. No legal risk of saying anything. She's just basically saying I don't want to say anything. It's Philip, PLSE. Philip, please call Giuffre. Giuffre's lawyer, and see what you can understand from him and perhaps craft something in a conjunction with him. Either way, I think we need to speak under my risk and help. There are too many cooks in the kitchen. That's over the last few days. Okay. All right. This is Virginia L. Giuffre versus Ghislaine Maxwell. I think this Virginia person, she's one of the people who are filing. She's one of the, or I think she is the person whose lawsuit has put Maxwell in jail, if I remember correctly. Okay, let's make sure. She has given a detailed account to many American and British reporters about her experiences of being trafficked by Epstein and Maxwell. Okay, there we go. She's 40. She was trafficked by Epstein and Maxwell. So this is the person. All right, Virginia Giuffre, and by others, and by through her undersigned counsel, hereby files this motion to compel defendant to answer deposition questions. Okay. Defendant refused to answer numerous questions about the alleged adult activity related to Jeffrey Epstein. Because this activity is highly relevant to the case, defendant should be ordered to answer questions about it. As the court is aware, the defamation case involves Giuffre's assertions that she and other females were recruited by defendants to be sexually abused by Epstein under the guise of being massage therapists. Oh, nah, man. Giuffre described Maxwell's role as the main woman who Epstein used to procure underage girls for harmful activities and primary co-conspirator and participant in his abuse and trafficking scheme. In response to these assertions, defendant has made the sweeping claim that Giuffre's assertions are entirely false and entirely untrue. Okay, so here we are. So this is what so Maxwell, so the first one was about Maxwell's, like, an email she sent. She was like, yo, they're trying to put me in fucking jail for like trafficking this bitch, bro. Like, I need to make sure I don't say anything. She was like, bro, she's gonna fucking like hit me with a defamation lawsuit, bro. I've been able to hide trafficking humans, like trafficking children all this time, bro. Leave me alone. Yeah, during the deposition, defendant refused to answer questions and construed as having something to do with consensual adult sex. Oh no, man. Defense counsel, maybe there was like one adult involved in that sex, but defense counsel supported the position that frankly that's none of your business, and I instruct the witness not to answer. Okay, there's all of the number of points to the deposition. This is gonna be a lot of legal jargon and stuff. All right, so be careful. Take a seat. This might take a while. Including questions about what the alleged massage therapists were doing at Jeffrey Epstein's house and the sexual nature of those massages. For example, defendant refused to answer questions about whether she had ever given Jeffrey Epstein a massage. Question: have you ever given Epstein a massage? Paglucia? Oh my lord. Padliuca. Crazy ass name. Also, this is not correct. You need to go through my speakers. Pagliuca. Object to the form foundation, and I am going to instruct you not to answer that question. Oh, this is the counsel. Okay. And I don't have any problem with you asking questions about the subject matter of this lawsuit would be you've termed sexual trafficking of Miss Roberts. To the extent you're asking the question, information relating to any consensual adult interaction between my client and Mr. Epstein, I'm going to instruct her not to answer that. Oh, okay. So this is during the deposition. Okay. I see. The counsel. Macaulay, instruct her not to. You can instruct her not to answer. That is your right. But I will bring her back for another deposition because this is part of the subject matter of this litigation. I disagree. You don't understand the bounds of this. No, I don't. I will continue to ask my questions. You ever participated from any time 1992 to 2009? Did you ever participate in a massage with Jeffrey Epstein? Objection. I do not answer. Objection. Do not answer that question. Again, to the extent you're asking some sort of illegal activity. Okay. Here we'll skim. You guys don't need to we don't need to read through literally everything, right? We just want to skim through to see if there's anything super interesting. What do you think? Sure. Yeah, we don't need to. There's a lot of legal lawyer counsel back and forth. We can skim through this just to see anything. I can just skim through for you. Obviously, you can press pause if you want to read anything specific. Used to answer questions and knowledge. Johanna Shoberg was hired to work for Epstein and provided massages. Okay, wait a second. And proof that defendant was involved in massages will further help prove the statement that press that gave Virginia's allegations were obvious lies was itself an obvious lie. Another example, defendant refused to answer questions about her knowledge that Johanna Shoberg, something along those lines, was hired to work for Epstein and provided massages. In a police report, Johanna, not sure exactly how to pronounce that name, admitted that Maxwell recruited her to work for Epstein. See this, Macaulay. Police report indicated that Johanna was recruited by Maxwell. Yet another defendant's deposition, he refused to answer questions regarding Johanna Shoberg. Do you know what task Johanna was hired to perform? She was tasked to answer telephones. Did you ever ask her to rub Giuffre's feet? I believe that I have read that, but I don't have any memory of it. Did you ever tell Johanna that she would get extra money if she provided Giuffre with massages? Oh, so apparently they had like little girls working for him, and then like the little girls would be giving him massages and other like rich men massages that they would pay for. Seemed like that's the case. Oh, is this everything? We may have a better document where we don't have to click through literally everything. Ah, hell nah. Oh, wait a second. 800 pages have been dropped. This one's even better. Oh, I got exhibit. Oh, 1 second. Alexandria Caraballo. She downloaded all of the Epstein documents from Pacer and combined them into a single PDF for searchability. Great stuff. This is perfect. Having issues with the surge of traffic. Well, they're still up. You can access it here. Okay, so here's everything. Here's everything, but they're not in like a searchable form. She downloaded everything, and we're gonna keep this as well just in case something was missed. But yeah, this should be easier to look through. Oh, this is gonna be wild. Giga Stacy move. That's true. A huge Stacy move. The diabolical text. Okay, so let's see. Obviously, we have to. Obviously, we'll have to do like the preliminary search that everybody's wondering about, right? Bill Clinton. We'll do Bill Clinton for the first one. All right. 6 mentions of the name Bill Clinton. Here, plaintiff's lack of diligence. A. Bill Clinton. There's also Ross Gao. Jean-Luc Brunel. Remember we talked about this guy? This is the guy who sent like little girls to Epstein to parties at Mar-a-Lago. That one's really important. Nadia Marcinova and Sarah Kellen as well. He was the one running the apartment, I believe so. I'm not sure. Here, well, let's take a look. Introduction. Apparently, plaintiffs seek to take 6 depositions beyond their scheduling order deadline on July 1st, yet it failed to demonstrate a good cause of diligence to any. Okay. The witnesses include one, Bill Clinton, a witness that the plaintiff initiated informal attempts to depose in June 9th. Ross Gao, a plaintiff began steps to depose under the Hague Convention in London last Friday, June 17th. Logo pedo paradise, not comrade Bill Clinton. That's true. I saw somebody say that like Bill Clinton was a leftist hero and that left-wing heroes were going to be shown in like the Epstein documents. I'm going to tell you, I don't know what left-wing hero is going to pop up in this. I'm going to pop up in this. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Yeah, and I think he was referring to Bill Clinton. I don't know what that person's smoking. Bro, only like conservatives and like right-leaning Democrats are really going to show up on this. Clinton ain't no left-wing hero. That's true. Cornel West on the bingo card? That's crazy. That's crazy. Plaintiff failed to mention any desire to take the deposition of former President Bill Clinton. No notice of deposition has been served and no scheduling of his deposition has been commented. Indeed, Bill Clinton first appeared on plaintiff's third revised Rule 26 disclosure 2 weeks ago on June 1st. Then last week, her reply in support of motion to exceed the 10 depositions filed in June 13th reply. President Clinton's deposition is necessary because Maxwell, in her deposition on April 25th, raised Ms. Giuffre's comments about President Clinton as one of the obvious lies, in which she was referring to her public statements that formed the basis of the suit. This is other nonsense and nothing more than transparent ploy. Oh, this is from defense. Okay, this is from this. Almost all of this right here is from defense. Defendants combine memorandum of law in opposition to extending deadline for the depositions. Okay, so this is all defense. Good to know. Plaintiff admits she had made not allegations of illegal actions by Bill Clinton. Plaintiff admits she has made not allegations of illegal actions by Bill Clinton, but plaintiff has asserted that she spent some time with President Bill Clinton on the island of Little St. James, U.S. Virgin Islands, and she flew there with the president in a helicopter piloted by Miss Maxwell. She's a helicopter pilot. That must come in very useful for trafficking children, I must say. Little St. James. Wait, is that his island? Is that his island, or is that just like an island normally a part of the U.S. Virgin Islands? Yes? Wait. Oh no. Little St. James, U.S. Virgin Islands. Very small private islands. Private island on the United States Virgin Islands, located blah, blah, blah. During the Epstein's ownership, the island acquired local nicknames such as Epstein Island, Island of Sin, and Pedophile Island. Yo, no. All right. Oh, nah, bro. Holy. Plaintiff asserted she spent time with Clinton on Epstein Island. He went. The plaintiff said she went. The plaintiff said he went with her. There's a whole new kind of helicopter parent. I hate that. Boy, I hate that. I hate that a lot. I wonder what happens on Pedophile Island. Can you even imagine what possibly could go down on Pedophile Island? Can you imagine? Comrade Bill Clinton, savior of the left wing. Known Pedophile Island enjoyer, it seems. Holy. And she flew there with the president on a helicopter piloted by Maxwell. In one article authored by Saren Churcher, plaintiff related. On one occasion, she adds, Epstein did invite two young brunettes to dinner, which he gave in his Caribbean island for Mr. Clinton shortly after he left office. But as far as she knows, the ex-president did not take the bait. I had been around 17 at the time. I flew to the Caribbean with Giuffre, and then Ghislaine Maxwell went to pick up Bill in a huge black helicopter that Giuffre bought her. She'd always wanted to fly, and Giuffre paid for her to take lessons. And I remember she was very excited because she got her license around the first year we met. I used to get frightened flying with her, but Bill had the Secret Service with him, and I remember him talking about what a good job she did. I only met Bill twice, but Giuffre told me they were good friends. Oh, Mr. Clinton, you have some questions to answer, Mr. Clinton. Oh, Mr. Clinton. Shark reading the list. This is a Google Doc compilation of all of the documents released by the court tonight. They said they should be dropping them in like rolling lists. But right now, this is how much we got. About, was it 894 pages? But apparently this isn't everything. But the Secret Service went with him. He's an ex-president. The Secret Service goes everywhere he goes. Secret Service always follows him. They always follow every single ex-president. So yes, wherever he goes, the Secret Service is there as well. A PDF? You're telling me this is a PDF file about pedophiles? Pedo activities? Anyways, we continue on. We all dined together that night. Giuffre was at the head of the table. Bill was at his left. I sat across from him. Emmy Taylor, Ghislaine's blonde British assistant sat to my right. Ghislaine was at Bill's left, and the left of Ghislaine there was two olive-skinned brunettes who'd flown with us from New York. I'd never met them before. I'd say they were no older than 17 and very innocent looking. They weren't there for me. They weren't there for Giuffre or Ghislaine. I was there to have sex with Giuffre on the trip. Maybe Giuffre thought they would entertain Bill, but I saw no evidence that he was interested in them. And Giuffre and Ghislaine seemed to have a very good relationship. Bill was very funny. He made me laugh a few times, and he and Giuffre and Ghislaine told blokey jokes, and the brunettes listened politely and giggled. After dinner, I gave Giuffre an erotic massage. I don't remember seeing Bill again on that trip, but I assume Ghislaine flew him back. See Sharon Churcher, teenage girls recruited by PDF. Giuffre Epstein reveals how she twice met Bill Clinton, but this is from the Daily Mail. So they're referencing the Daily Mail there. Just gonna break the internet. A lot of the sites that have posted this have are down at the moment from the traffic. The next big dinner party on the island had another significant guest appearance, being the one and only Bill Clinton. Is the only president in the world to be dismissed from the role of world leader because he was caught with his trousers around his ankles. Okay, blah. There was Giuffre at the head of the table, one is left. Okay, we saw this. Part of the Clinton claims regarding Bill Clinton has concisely been proven false. Former FBI Director Louis Freach submitted a report wherein he concluded that President Clinton did not in fact travel to, nor was he present on this Little St. James Island between January 2001 and 2003. I was so scared to say that name. I feel like I was about to get clipped. Meninger. Further, if any Secret Service agents had accompanied Bill Clinton to the location, they would have been required to make a file, shift logs, travel vouchers, related documents relating to the visit, and there was a total absence of any documentation. Plaintiff now denies telling Churcher that she had ever witnessed Ms. Maxwell flying Clinton, the Secret Service anywhere, or joking with Clinton about what a good job she did. Plaintiff counsel remarkably instructed plaintiff not to answer any additional questions about the other things Sharon Churcher inaccurately reported. Okay, so they're contending the fact that Clinton went to the Epstein Island. They said that there were no flight logs, that there were no logs or travel logs from Secret Service or anything about him traveling there. Obviously, the next response would be people saying that, oh, like he just instructed them not to say anything about it, right? Plaintiff failed to disclose President Clinton was a witness. Okay. Moscow. Let's just put Clinton. Clinton comes up 22 times. Okay. No, that seems to be all of Clinton's mentions so far, except for down here. Plaintiff's bad faith discovery tactics should not be rewarded with extra time. Okay, so this is just the defense for right now. Defense is talking about all of this. This is just all defense. Good to know. Let's try Trump before we go through the rest of this. Trump does not come up once so far. Mr. Trump, you are safe for now. Trump does not come up once. Bill Clinton came up. They said that he has not gone to the island. So they said that he went to the island. They said that he didn't go to the island, actually. Back and forth on that. Nothing about them. Obama. No Obama. No Obama. Biden. No Biden. No Biden. Okay. Who else do you think we should try and search? Oh yeah, it should be Obama. Fuck. Musk? That'd be crazy. Tom Hanks? No Tom Hanks. O'Reilly? No O'Reilly. McConnell? That's not how you spell McConnell. Spacey? I think they mostly work with girls. Bobby Kotick. Okay. No Kotick. No Lucas. disclosed 623 new documents, including, for the first time, unredacted police reports from Palm Beach that the plaintiff clearly had in her possession or her counsel. Okay. My question is plaintiff's carrying rule violation. My question is, all of this defense? Is all of this defense? This might all be defense. Come on, baby, load. Here we go. Oh, you know what I kind of want to see? I wanted to see if there's anything about Mar-a-Lago, but I don't think there's going to be anything about Mar-a-Lago. Not yet. First search for Tucker Carlson. There is a Carlson, I will say. Who's Carlson then? No, different person. Probably a different person. Seemed like a different person. Any notable names so far? Bill Clinton was mentioned here. Alan Dershowitz was mentioned a little bit, but most of this is from defense, so they're not going to be making any really big claims. No really big claims so far that I've seen. As court likely recalls, Roscoe actually issued a statement pertinent to this defamation suit. Plaintiff has known Roscoe and his role in this lawsuit since the onset. She referenced him by name in the complaint filed in 2015. A part of As Maxwell's campaign, she directed her agent Roscoe to attack Giuffre's honesty and truthfulness to accuse Giuffre of lying. Plaintiff also has been well aware throughout Mr. Gao resides in London. Who is Roscoe? Do we know this person? He's on Twitter. I think this is literally all defense. Exhibit 6. Plaintiff against Maxwell. Confidential. Videotape a deposition of Ghislaine Maxwell taken pursuant to subpoena was held at law offices. Okay, so wait, here we go. Appearances. Maxwell confidential for sex acts. Question, I'm asking if they perform sexual acts. Wait. Attorneys for plaintiff. Guzzling Maxwell. So this was confidential before. We didn't see any of this yet. For sex acts. Confidential for sex acts. Question, I'm asking if they perform sexual acts. I object to this foundation. Do you have any massage therapists who were at the home perform sexual acts for Mr. Giuffre? I don't know what you mean by sexual acts. What do you mean you don't know what you mean? Hello? Professional PDF doesn't know what a sexual act is, but I think you know a lot about what it is. You sold them. Did any of the massage therapists who were working at the home perform sexual acts, including touching of the breasts, touching the, sexual acts? So we're just gonna go say we don't have to describe them. Objection, form and foundation. To the extent in which they're asking any knowledge of any consensual acts that may or may not be involved with you instructing. I'm instructing you to not answer. I'm not asking about consensual sex. Maxwell confidential. Oh, so this is stuff that's still. This is stuff here like confidential. We're not allowed to. This is redacted. These are redacted words. So she said something redacted, and then like in response to, and her answer to that was redacted as well. Redacted acts. I'm asking whether any of the massage therapists performed sexual acts from Mr. Epstein as I have just described. Answer, I have never seen anybody have sexual intercourse with Giuffre ever. I've never seen them have sexual intercourse, but that's not what the question was. I'm asking about sexual acts, touching the breast. Did you ever see? Can you read back the question? Read record. I'm not addressing any questions about consensual adult sex. If you want to talk about about the subject matter, which is defamation, is lying, Virginia Roberts, that you and Virginia Roberts are participating in perpetuating her lies. I am happy to address those. I never saw inappropriate underage activities with Giuffre ever. I'm not asking about underage. I'm asking about whether any of the masseuses who at the home performed any sexual acts for Giuffre Epstein. I have just answered that question. No, you haven't. Yeah, that's a lie. You have not. Confidential. A, I have. No, you haven't. Yes, I have. Not, bro. They're in a situation. You are refusing to answer the question. Answer, let's move on. I'm in charge of this deposition. I say when we move on and when we don't. You are here to respond to my questions. If you are refusing to answer, the court will bring you back for another deposition to answer those questions. Do you understand that? You don't need to threaten the witness, says Ghislaine's lawyer, Maxwell's lawyer. Ms. Colley, I am not threatening. I'm not threatening you. I'm not threatening you. Not the nuh-uh. Yeah, she's like hitting her with a nuh-uh. I'm making sure the record is clear. Certainly you can apply. Oh my gosh, please stop being mean to please stop being mean to her, please. Again, she's not answering. Related to an adult sex acts period, and that the instruction, and we can take it up with the court. Ms. Maxwell, are you aware of any sexual acts with masseuses and Jeffrey Epstein that were non-consensual? The answer is no. Finally, an answer. That's this is important. Finally, actually a real answer from Maxwell. She says no. She doesn't remember any non-consensual sex acts. How do you know that? All the time that I have been in the house, I have never seen, heard, nor witnessed, nor has it been reported to me that any activities that took place that people were in distress, either reported to me by the staff or anyone else. I base my answer based on that. Are you familiar with the person by the name of Annie Farmer? I am. Has Annie Farmer given a statement to police about you performing sexual acts on her? Answer, I have not heard that. Question, has Annie Farmer given a statement to police about Jeffrey Epstein performing? Okay, is that the end of the question? Performing, did you have sexual acts with her? Did you have sex with her? Is the same instruction about consensual and non-consensual. Was Emmy under the age of 18 when you hired her? The answer is no, I didn't hire her. As I said, Giuffre did. When you oh, this is okay. This is Weasley. Was she under the age when you hired her? And then she says, "No, I didn't hire her. Giuffre did." So, but that doesn't answer the question of whether or not if she was underage when she was hired. Did Emmy ever have sex with Giuffre? Paglucia. Sorry. Oh my goodness. What's bro's name again? Fuck. My bad. It took long. It's all right. I appreciate you. Okay. Paglucha. Probably like Pagluca. Wait, this doesn't show up. I think there's something we're missing. Besties, I think there's something we're missing. Questions about people under the age of 18 at Epstein's home. Christy, photographer. Can you answer? I have no idea exactly what the youngest adult employee I hired for Giuffre. When you say adult employee, did you ever hire somebody that was under the age of 18? Never. Did you ever bring somebody who was under blank, invite someone under the age of 18 to Jeffrey's home, any of the homes? Object to the formal question. Can you repeat the question? Did you ever invite anybody who was under the age of 18 to Jeffrey's home? Same objection. I have a number of friends that have children and friends of mine that have kids. In the invitation of my friends and their kids, I'm sure I have invited some of my friends' kids to come. Anybody that is not a friend of yours? Answer, Miss Roberts held herself out. I'm not asking if she held herself out. I'm asking if she arrived at the home. Did you meet her and invite her to come to the home? Did she arrive there? Check to the form. Miss Roberts held her to be a masseuse, and her mother drove her to the house. Oh no. So she admitted that underage people were there and they were masseuses. When did you first meet Virginia Roberts? I don't have a recollection of the first meeting. Do you recall meeting her at Mar-a-Lago? It's here. We found it. Like I said, I don't have a recollection of the meeting. So you recall Miss Roberts being brought to the home by her mother. Is that your testimony? That's my testimony. Is that the first time you met her? Like I said, I don't recall the first time. Are you a member at Mar-a-Lago? No. Have you ever visited Mar-a-Lago? Yes. Did you visit Mar-a-Lago in the year 2000? I'm pretty sure I did. When Miss Roberts arrived at her home with her mother, what happened? I spoke with her mother outside of the house, and what I don't recall is exactly what happened because I was talking to her mother the entire time she was in the house. Did you introduce Miss Roberts to Jeffrey Epstein? No, I don't recall how she actually met Epstein. As I said, I spoke with her mother the entire time outside the house. Did you walk Miss Roberts up to the upstairs location in the Palm Beach house? To absolutely everything that took place in the first meeting. She has lied repeatedly, often. Justice is an awful fantasist, so very difficult for anything to take place that she repeated. Because I was with her mother the entire time. So did you give a massage with Virginia Roberts and Mr. Epstein during the first time Virginia Roberts was at the West Palm Beach house? Objective form of the question, yes or no? She says no. Have you ever been given a massage with Virginia Roberts in the same room of Jeffrey Epstein? The lawyer tries to say no again. Maxwell says no. Have you ever given Jeffrey Epstein a massage? Instructing her not to answer. Then we'll be back here again. Have you ever given a massage to Mr. Epstein with a female that was under the age of 18? Can you answer the question? Yes! Oh, no, my bad. That's not the answer. Can you repeat the question? Yes. Have you ever given a massage to with a female that was under the age of 18? She says no. Never mind. Have you ever observed Mr. Epstein having a massage given by an individual or female that was under the age of 18? She says no. Have you ever observed females under the age of 18 in the presence of Jeffrey Epstein at his home? Again, I have friends and I have friends who have children. Just another one of Virginia's many fictitious lies and stories to make this salacious event and to get interest in press. Also quite rubbish. Are you in charge of hiring individuals? My job included hiring people. There were 6 homes. As I sit here, I hired assistants, I hired architects. She says she hires a bunch of people, right? When you say adult professional massage therapist, where do you find these massage therapists? From time to time, I would visit professional spas. I would receive massages, and if the massage was good, I would ask the man or woman if he or she did home visits. I got friends in low places. Oh, so this is one of the confidential names. Miss Maxwell, when did you meet blank? I have no idea when I met her. Do you know how old she was when you... Okay, so this is probably one of the victims whose name is blurred out here. This is probably a victim name. I have no idea when I met her. Do you know how old she was when you met her? Can you search John McAfee? Okay. Non-existent. Mar-a-Lago comes up a couple times. But this seems all that Mar-a-Lago comes up. Now that we're here. Trump doesn't come up. Allen doesn't come up. Clinton doesn't come up. Okay. People avoiding giving direct answers. Oh, I mean, they're trying to save their own ass. Lots of deposition here. It's A1 of 56. I want to take a look at something. Let's look at this one real quick. It's still Virginia versus Maxwell. And this is plaintiff. Okay, here we go. Defendant, first set, discovery request. Okay, so this is just going over a discovery request. Objects to request. Overly burdensome. They extend. They would require logging a lot of stuff. What is the point of defending yourself? It feels so ridiculous. If you go to a place called Pedophile Island, you should expect blowback. Sure. But I think that since they're so rich, they could deal with blowback. What they can't deal with really is being hunted by like the FBI and CIA and federal prosecutors to be thrown in jail for the rest of your life. That's way harder to get away with. Residential location. She agrees to have her attorney. This is just attorney stuff. We're going to scroll through this a little bit. Jeffrey MC also rented a residence for Giuffre in Royal Palm Beach. Joe, crazy things are going on in Florida, man. They got to deal with what's going on in Florida. Tony Figueroa and Michael Ostrich, and a few other individuals whom's Giuffre, what here? How do you pronounce this? Just to make sure. Giuffre. Cannot recall the names of stay in their home from time to time residents that Jeffrey also rented We got a lot of addresses here. 2003. This is the time we was moving around a bunch of little girls. This document is the one that's supposed to get a little crazy. Let's take a look at no Trump. Mar-a-Lago. Oh, looks like some Mar-a-Lago stuff does come up. Let's take a look. Response to interrogatory number 9. Giuffre objects to the request. It's overly broad and unduly burdensome and seeks information that is not relevant to the case. Giuffre responds the following. Ms. Giuffre worked at Mar-a-Lago as a locker room attendant at the spa area. Records produced in the case identify the date of employment as 2000. As she recalls being there in the summer, Giuffre previously attempted to gather employment records from Mar-a-Lago. Go to here. She earned approximately $9 an hour. Gotta love that. Gotta love that Donald Trump taking care of the American people, paying somebody $9 an hour. Barely $2 over the minimum wage. And the address at 1100 Ocean Boulevard, Palm Beach. Giuffre worked the Roadhouse Grill in 2002. All documents relating to your employment at Mar-a-Lago. So a lot of this stuff was happening at Mar-a-Lago. Giuffre objects to the request to the extent that seeks documents protected by the attorney-client. Has produced documents. Any document reflecting any confidential agreement by or between or concerning you and Mar-a-Lago Club. Giuffre objects to the request. Why isn't this highlighted? I'm all the way down here. Let's see. What happens when I just straight up copy paste it? Here we go. At least it comes up now. So just this request. Bunch of back and forth plaintiff stuff. Let's scroll up a little bit. Oh no. Oh, we got some names. All documents relating to communications occurring from 1998 to the present with any of the following individuals or their attorneys, agents, or representatives: Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, any witness disclosed by the plaintiff, Rule 26, any witness identified, Sky Roberts, Lynn Roberts, Kimberly Roberts, Carol Roberts Kess, Philip Guiderian, Anthony Valadares, Anthony Figueroa, Ron Eppinger. Ms. Giuffre's objection to this request on the grounds that it's overly broad and unduly burdensome, relating to over 60 individuals. 60 individuals. Recalls the production of documents that are irrelevant to the action, not reasonably calculated to lead to a discovery that is going to be admissible in court. Says it's going to invade her privacy. Subject without waiving the above objections, Giuffre's withholding production documents that are privileged pursuant to the attorney-client privilege and work product privilege and the public interest privilege, withholding electronic renditions of photographs that depict the faces of her minor children, including school. Okay. Leaving the objection, Giuffre is also use documents labeled these things that will produce non-privileged documents response to the request limited documents that do not depict images of her children. All photographs or videos containing images of you and the following individuals. To the extent that you have such photographs and video in their original native format, please produce them in the format. Do not paper copy. Ghislaine Maxwell. So this person who had been trafficked by Epstein, they're just talking about pictures where she was pictured with Maxwell, Alan Dershowitz, Jeffrey Epstein, Andrew Albert Christian Edwards, the Duke of York, Prince Andrew. Anything noteworthy yet, Shark? Not anything super. Not anything super. Right now we found they were talking about how this person who has been trafficked by Epstein, they're talking about submitting pictures where she was photographed with these people that were private beforehand. Wait. Rob Eppinger, Bill Clinton. She's photographed with Bill Clinton. Stephen Hawking. Was this before or after he was wheelchair bound? Before or after wheelchair bound Hawking? Is Charles in there? Right here. The Duke of York. Not Stephen. It seems like the Hawking radiation that he was radiating may have been pedo particles. It's possible. None of this is concrete of any wrongdoing as of yet, just so you know. Hawking had been in a wheelchair for decades. Yeah, that's true. Neil deGrasse Tyson. No. Al Gore, apparently. Any of the individuals identified your response to interrogatory. Ms. Giuffre objects to the request for documents response. This request, possession of custody. Epstein, she shows defense privilege, refuses to produce the responding documents. Photographs of you and Epstein. The property, his ranch in Santa Fe, Epstein Island. She objects to the request for the documentation. And this is just deposition, right? Yeah, this is all just deposition. But not have to go through this right now. Okay. Nothing crazy right now. I'm just skimming through this to see if there's anything else. There's a lot of just like lawyer jargon in here. Evidence, subject without seeks information to harass, embarrass Ms. Giuffre, tax records. Young Sheldon comes up 62 times. Oh no, man. Oh no, release me from this mortal coil. I'm messing with you. I don't think young Sheldon comes up. I don't think so. I'm messing with you. Oh, I got your ass. Not Sheldon. I know, right? That would have been terrible. Request on the grounds. Documents, dates of doctors of any fulfillment. She was on a drugs prescription since she was 2. Copyright protection materials. Okay. Attorney client privilege. Income. Okay. All right. Interesting. I forget where we were. Let's do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we can skim through these. There's some more testimony. No idea about the youngest adult that she hired. Much different thing about being Benghazi'd in Bazingud. Two very different things. I don't care who you are. If you're hanging out with Epstein, you're up to no good. That includes Chomsky. Yeah, I mean, well, it really depends on what you mean by like hanging out. He was like one of like the richest, most connected guys to ever exist. So like a lot of those types of people were going to probably know him, especially if you're trying to get money for something. He was one of those people who you'd probably work with to go through. That's how he was able to get so many connections to be able to, you know, get so many people on board with what he was doing. But I mean, like, you should probably be investigated if you spent any like significant amount of time with him. I'll say that much. Benghazi'd? Shut the fuck up. I don't recall. Oh, so this is just them. This is the court asking the judge to force Maxwell to answer some of the questions she didn't answer in that deposition that we were looking through 300 times, including 23 times to Ms. Giuffre when Ms. Giuffre was underage. According to the flight logs, landing at West Palm Beach, Florida, Epstein's private plane. She did not recall having Ms. Giuffre at her London townhome with Prince Andrew. Defendant stuck to this incredible story despite flight logs establishing her traveling to London with Miss Giuffre, and despite a photograph of the three, Miss Giuffre, Prince Andrew, and the defendant all standing together in defendant's home. Oh my gosh. The defendant deposition consists of almost entirely I don't recalls or I refuse to answer that question, and include physical outbursts that knock the court reporter's computer off the conference room table. She was going crazy in there, man. She was losing her shit to try not to go to jail, and it still didn't work. Among many questions the defendant refused to answer at her deposition, with a number of questions designed to show that defendant was well aware for Epstein a massage was actually code word for sexual activity, i.e. the therapeutic massage would rather be an activity that involves sexual gratification for Epstein. Defendant refused to answer such questions, asserted that they involved a private adult relationships which did not relate in any way to Giuffre's claims, but defendant's involvement in such relationships with Epstein would show that she knew full well the fate that was in store for Ms. Giuffre when she accepted defendant's invitation to come and provide massages for Epstein. Defendant admitted that she worked for Epstein from 1992 to 2009. As the court As the court knows, the Palm Beach police report demonstrates multiple instances of massages being given by untrained minor children that involve sexual acts. A defendant also identifies Palm Beach police report and details of Epstein's sexual activities, for example, being highly relevant to the case because it will help corroborate Ms. Giuffre's testimony that while she was underage, she also engaged in sexual activity with an identical nature with Mr. Epstein. To allow defendant to avoid answering these questions would preclude Giuffre from getting critical evidence in this case. Defendant recruiting an 18-year-old girl to be an assistant, bringing that girl to Epstein's home and telling her she could make money if she would give Epstein a massage, and then instructing her to give a massage that involved sexual acts. Upon defendant's theory of discovery, Giuffre would be precluded from deposing her on the topic because the actions would culminate in consensual adult sex. Yet the scenario would fully validate the pattern of events that occurred with Ms. Giuffre when she was under the age of 18. It would also show that the modus operandi by Epstein and defendant, which clearly is admissible into court. And critical to impeaching the defendant, Epstein is nothing more than a normal. She tried to characterize Epstein as nothing more than a guy who has a normal job with multiple mansions and just happened to have a bunch of underage girls flying through a bunch of them. Defendant attempts to paint a picture that Giuffre somehow is interested in all sexual relationships with defendant and may have been involved with. This is not true. Ms. Giuffre has no intention of asking unbridled questions. To be clear, Giuffre intends to ask defendant only questions that involve the following to narrow down the critical subjects: defendant's sexual relationship with Epstein, the time in which she worked for Epstein, in which Epstein was engaging in sexual acts with females under the cover as a massage, defendant sexual interactions with any person in Epstein's presence during that time, defendant sexual activities at Epstein's residence, including the private island, Lil St. Jeff's, not Lil St. Jeff's, was aircraft during that period, defendant sexual activities with identified participant and abuse during that time. Did I agree with your major response? I appreciate you. How many politicians are here? We don't know yet. Prince Andrew was definitely with this girl who was being trafficked by Epstein. Oh, we got something. During the investigation of Epstein, certain household staff were deposed. Alfredo? Bro's name is Alfredo Rodriguez? That's a crazy name. Mexican and Italian? No way, that's a real name. Yeah, bro's actually named Alfredo Rodriguez. I'll eat that man. Search the term undressed midgets. I'm not kidding, it's in there. In this one in particular, it might not be. Who was Epstein's household manager, testified defendant as she stayed with Epstein's home and assisted with bringing young girls to act as masseuses for Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, bringing it back where we started. Does Maxwell have the knowledge that girls would come over to Epstein's house in roughly the same age group as C and T, minor children, and to have a good time, as you put it? Yes. Oh, hell. And what was her involvement or knowledge of that about? She knew what was going on, he says. Another household employee testified that young girls are regularly present at Jeffrey Epstein's home, where Maxwell resides. Until the end of the employment, the masseuses were young. Towards the end of his employment, the masseuses were younger and younger. They're doing a power creep of pedophilia. When asked how young, Miss Alessi stated they appeared to be 16 or 17 years at most. During one Alessi's November 21st, 2005 statement, Palm Beach Department, Alessi revealed that the girls would come over and give massages, air quote. And he observed Maxwell going up the stairs in the direction of the bedroom quarters. He also testified that after the massages, he would come up and clean. After the massages, he would clean up sex toys that were kept in Maxwell's closet. Link to the document we're looking at. You can find it here. Like documents released, BNO News. 99% of the time, they said that the girls were topless. Did they appear to be doing anything sexual? Yes, ma'am. This is where the girls were doing sexual things with other girls. Yes, ma'am. And I'm still talking about the picture on Miss Maxwell's computer. Yes, ma'am. Upon leaving the employment, Rodriguez testified the defendant threatened him and that he should not tell anybody about what happened in the house. I have to say, Miss Maxwell called me and told me never to discuss or contact her again in a threatening way. When was this? Right after I left, because I called one of the friends for a job and she told me this. But you know, I feel intimidated, so I don't want to keep her out. She made a telephone call and what precisely did she say? She said, I forbid you that that I will be sorry if I contact any of her friends again. She said something like, don't open your mouth or say something like that. I'm a civil humble. I came as an immigrant to service people. And right now you feel a little, I'm 55 and I'm afraid. First of all, I don't have a job, and I'm glad this is on tape because I don't want nothing to happen to me. Anyways, they're like, I was fucking threatened by Maxwell. Giuffre described the frequency of these massages, the sexual tendencies of the participants, and the manner of the massages became sexual in nature. Response: defending called Giuffre's entire account untrue and obvious lies. Entirely relevant. Likewise, defendant in sexual acts with Epstein. Okay. We're just gonna start scrolling again for a little bit. So we can take a little breather. You can take a breather. I'm gonna continue reading, but a little silently. I'm just gonna skim through a little bit. Okay, that's the end of this one. Exhibit 4, and that was exhibit like 3, right? No, this is exhibit 4. All right, what are we looking at? Exhibit 4, Jane Doe versus Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, these are all of the victims. These the victims against Epstein. This is getting released. Lots of Jane Does. Oh, what the fuck? How the hell am I supposed to read this? Okay, over here. The next page is a message upper left dated January 13, 2005 from CW. Okay, this might have some names on it. Let's see. No Mar-a-Lago. No Trump. Maxwell. What about Maxwell? The witness. You're talking about the boss. I don't know. To your knowledge, was Maxwell aware of the girls that are in the age group of C and T? These are the minors. Jeffrey's house. To have a good time. Form. Have to say something. Miss Maxwell called me and told me not to discuss or contact her ever again in a threatening way. Okay. Okay, so this is everything. We went over this. Telephone mentioned by Mr. Clinton. LeBron James. No LeBron James. He's safe. He's safe. Don't see any names. Yeah, I don't see any real names. Well, could need fear in this of Epstein in a particular moment. Something you have to worry about. Yes. Okay. It's still crazy this dude's name is fucking Alfredo Rodriguez. I really don't want to believe that's real. Plaintiff's non-redacted motion to leave the serve 3 deposition subpoenas. Okay. Deposition subpoenas. Oh, was this the non-redacted part? Everything else was redacted. Is this like the non? What's highlighted? Does anybody know? Spanish, Italian? Listen. At several points during her recent deposition, Miss Maxwell refused to answer questions. Okay. Nothing super interesting there. Not interested in answering questions. A recent deposition, defendant appeared to be aware of the fact that Epstein had potential co-conspirators. Fifth Amendment rights when asked about defendant recruitment of underage girls. Oh no. Do you know Ghislaine Maxwell? Fifth. Yo, do you know this woman? And bro says I plead the fifth? Okay. That's crazy. Didn't even ask any real, just do you know that, have you seen this person before? And you say I plead the fifth. That's crazy. Is anybody who helped Jeffrey Epstein to devise a scheme to allow him to access various and variety of underage minor females. 5th. That's crazy. Is Sarah Kellen someone who was involved in planning this scheme to gain access? 5th. That's every question. Do you know Virginia Giuffre? 5th. Yo! Okay. Guilty as shit. You can't do this in court. When you plead the 5th, it's supposed to be stricken down, but we're not in court right now. Bro, you're a criminal. You belong in jail. Bro, look, they answered I plead the 5th to literally everything. Ghislaine Maxwell is somebody who you know to be bisexual. Is that true? I plead the 5th. Yo, you're going to jail. Hell, it's so over. Homie, we're putting you in the cage. Bailiff, crush his nuts. Bailiff, crush his nuts. Oh, Lord. There's no rehabilitating for these monsters. They need to go. These guys, I think these guys will need to be put away. They're done. You're done. You were given freedom and you obviously couldn't handle it. So we're going to be taking it away from you. Court cases, subpoena. Okay, nothing too crazy here. Conclusion. Exhibit C, Jane Doe 3 and 4, motion to pursuant of Rule 21 for joinder in action, referred to as the new victims, undersigned counsel, filed as pursuant. Background, as the court is aware, more than 6 years ago, Jane Doe 1 filed a present action. So this is just these are the victims who signed on to the original lawsuit. In response, the government argued that the CVRA rights do not apply to Jane Doe 1 and Jane Doe 2 because no federal charges have ever been filed against Jeffrey Epstein. This is a crime against humanity. No federal charges have ever been filed against Jeffrey Epstein. Thank you, Dersh. What was that other guy? Acosta, Alexander Acosta. Thank you, Alexander Acosta. Thank you, Dersh. We really appreciate you for that one. Good work. Nice one. Epstein had standing. 2 had been abused by Epstein. 1999. Jane Doe 3 was approached by Maxwell, one of the many women whom Epstein used to procure little girls for his massages and activities. Primary co-conspirator in his abuse and trafficking scheme. Maxwell persuaded Doe 3, who was 15 at the time, to come to Epstein's mansion. She was actually just like walking around in like a fucking no windows white van with like a fishing rod with a piece of like candy on it, just fishing for little girls to bring to his house. Which Epstein and his co-conspirators coerced dozens of other children, including Doe 1 and 2. When 3 began giving the massage, Epstein and Maxwell turned it into a sexual encounter, as they had done to many other victims. Epstein then became enamored with 3, and with the assistance of Maxwell, converted her into what was commonly referred to as a sex slave. Epstein kept 3 as his slave from 1999 to 2002, and when she managed to escape to a foreign country and hide out from Epstein and his co-conspirators for years, from 1999 to 2002, Epstein frequently abused 3, not only in West Palm Beach, but also New York, New Mexico, the Virgin Islands, and international airspace on Epstein's private planes and elsewhere. Epstein also trafficked the then minor Jane Doe and making her available to politically connected and financially powerful people. Epstein purposes in lending Jane Doe, bro, like she's a fucking bike, along with other young girls. So this is what we're looking for right here. These are the names that we're looking for: politically connected and financially powerful people. These are the ones that we're looking for. Who else is out there? Such powerful people were to integrate himself with them for business, personal, political, or financial gain, to obtain potentially blackmail information. One such powerful individual that Epstein forced Doe on relations was former wait. One such powerful individual Epstein forced then minor Jane Doe to have sexual relations with was former Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz. The Dersh. A Dersh. Buddy. You know, we saw that article where you said the age of consent should be dropped, Mr. Dersh. I think you got some questions to answer about that. We got it. That's a 100% name right there. Exhibit 8. And is this the same? No. My 24 and this 24 are different. So we'll take a look at this in a second. A close friend of Epstein's, a well-known criminal defense attorney, Epstein required Jane Doe to have intimate relations with Dershowitz on numerous occasions while she was a minor, not only in Florida, but also in private jets, New York, New Mexico, Virgin Islands. Yo, is Matt Gaetz, now I'm thinking about it, is Matt Gaetz in here? In addition to being a participant in the abuse of Doe 3 and other minors, Dershowitz was an eyewitness to the abuse of many of the minors by Epstein and several of Epstein's co-conspirators. Dershowitz would later play a significant role in negotiating the NPA, non-prosecution agreement, on Epstein's behalf. Indeed, Dershowitz helped negotiate the agreement that provided immunity from federal prosecution in the Southern District of Florida, not only to Epstein, but also any potential co-conspirators of Epstein, being himself. Thus, Dershowitz helped negotiate an agreement with the provision that provided protection for himself against criminal prosecution in Florida for sexually abusing Doe 3. Because this broad immunity would have been controversial if disclosed, Dershowitz, along with other members of Epstein's defense team and the government, tried to keep immunity provisions secret from all of Epstein's victims and the general public, even though such secrecy violated the Crimes Victims' Rights Act. So remember how we said that Dershowitz didn't talk to any of the victims about this like super broad crazy immunity that they got? Wait. What about Acosta? Now we got it. Like, where is Acosta in here? How much did Acosta know this Epstein guy? How well did they know this guy? Maxwell was another person in Epstein's inner circle and co-conspirator who was given immunity for her abuse. That shouldn't be doable? Well, ask Alexander Acosta, labor secretary in Donald Trump's administration. Acosta used to be in Dershowitz's law firm. Yeah, so Dershowitz and Acosta used to work together. And then Dershowitz asked Acosta to give Epstein and everybody connected to Epstein blanket pure immunity and not tell any of the victims. And then Acosta made his way all the way up to the cabinet of the president of the United States under Donald Trump. Can you even call it a justice system anymore? Only for poor people, brother. Only for poor people. So many people near him are connected, and like the girls were being filtered through Mar-a-Lago from time to time. Trump has his hands in every horrible thing, I swear. Maxwell took numerous sexually explicit pictures of the girls doing terrible acts. This is CP, just in case you were wondering. For instance, one such powerful individual forced Doe 3 to have relations with a member of the British royal family, Prince Andrew, Duke of York. Nah, bro, here it is. Two people, straight up names that are being accused right here, right now, by the victims of them being forced to have sex with them. Prince Andrew, who was documented to be with one of the victims, and Dersh, who is Epstein's ride or die and got him out almost scot-free. Who was forced to have relations with the prince when she was a minor in 3 separate geographical locations: in London at Maxwell's apartment, in New York in Epstein's private island in the Virginian Islands, an orgy with numerous other underage girls. Epstein instructed 3 that she was to give the prince whatever he demanded, and required 3 to report back to him with the details of the abuse. Maxwell facilitated Andrew's acts of abuse by acting as a madame for Epstein, thereby insisting in international trafficking for sexual purposes. Another person in Epstein's inner circle of friends of whom, when apparent in most investigative efforts, was here it is, Jean-Luc Brunel. Now remember, this is the guy who paid the girls, many of which were said to be underage, to go to Mar-a-Lago and like mingle with other rich people in Mar-a-Lago who's connected to Epstein. Okay. Epstein trafficked Doe 3 to Jean-Luc Brunel many times. Brunel was another of Epstein's closest friends and regular traveling companion who had many contacts with young girls throughout the world. Brunel had been a model scout for various modeling agencies, many of whom apparently was able to get the U.S. passports for young girls to work. He had to bring young girls ranging from ages of as young as 12 to the United States for sexual purposes and farm them out. I hate that. To his friends, especially Epstein, Brunel would offer these girls modeling jobs. Many of the girls came from poor countries and impoverished backgrounds, and he lured them with the promise of making good money. Epstein forced Doe 3 to observe him, Brunel and Maxwell engaging in illegal acts with underage girls. Epstein also forced Doe 3 to have sex with Brunel on numerous occasions. In West Palm Beach, just so you know, I'm pretty sure this West Palm Beach mansion is right next to Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, actually, it's like down the road. It's like down the road from Mar-a-Lago, where Trump actually lives. Down the road from Mar-a-Lago, Giuffre's Epstein's Palm Beach mansion to be demolished. Yeah. Oh, hell, man. Yeah, this is right down the road from Mar-a-Lago. Remember when Trump was like, he likes his pretty girls, many of them are pretty young too? Epstein trafficked Doe 3 for sexual purposes, many other powerful men, including numerous prominent American politicians, powerful business executives, foreign presidents, and a well-known prime minister and other world leaders. Well, give us names. Who is this? Who are they? Who are some of these people? I would like to know. Prime ministers, world leaders, point them out. Politicians, prominent American politicians. Break out the contraption, warm up the contraption. We're gonna need it. Boris Johnson. This was going on before Boris Johnson was in office. You're gonna have to look back at politicians between like the late 90s and 2006. Epstein required Doe 3 to describe the events, the men, so he could potentially blackmail them. Okay, so I guess this is how he kept power over them. He would find fellow pedos and then be like, hey yo, go do pedo things with him. And they'd be like, God damn, I had a great time. And then he'd have her recite what happened, write it down, and then tell them what he knows, and then say, now you do what I tell you to. So I can keep doing whatever I want. Yeah, I mean, like, if you wonder like how this stuff stays a secret for so long, well, nobody wants to destroy anybody's career, and once something moves, like the whole thing falls down because everybody's connected. But that's how you keep everybody silent who's connected. It's actually pretty smart. Only if he used this type of scheme for like good instead of like super evil, not like much worse than even normal evil. Epstein required Janto to describe the event so he can blackmail. The government as well was well aware of Doe 3 when it was negotiating the NPA. This is Acosta, just so you know, the guy in I know we're jumping ahead, but holy heck, Shark, look. We're gonna wait. We're gonna have to wait for that one. We're getting through it. Okay. That tweet. Well, that is quite something. We're getting through it, okay? We'll get there. I want to see what's going on with this NPA though. The government was well aware of Doe 3 when it was negotiating the NPA, as it listed her as a victim in the attachment of the NPA. Moreover, The rudimentary investigation of Doe 3's relationship with Epstein would have revealed the fact that she had been trafficked throughout the United States and internationally. Nevertheless, the government secretly negotiated a non-prosecution agreement with Epstein, precluding any federal prosecution in the Southern District of Florida of Epstein and his co-conspirators. Of Doe 1 and 2, the government concealed the non-prosecution agreement from Doe 3 in the violation of her CVRA. Objections to the MPA that would have shed tremendous public light on Epstein and other powerful individuals that would likely have prevented it from being concluded in a secretive manner in which it was. 4 circumstances would allege the trials, other claims. She said you were abused by Epstein around 2002. Vulnerable 16-year-old. Gave an old man a massage in Palm Beach. Asking her personally to come to his mansion in Palm Beach, right down the road from Mar-a-Lago, mind you. Let's go upstairs. That she recently turned 16. He then did horrible things to her. Okay, well, that's what we have for now. Plaintiff's non-redacted motion to exceed presumptive 10 depositions. Maxwell, 7 hours. Johanna Shoberg, 3 hours. Juan Alessi, Marina Alessi, David Rogers, Ronaldo Rizzo. His name's Ronaldo Rizzo? Jean-Luc Burnell, okay. Ruskow, Dana Burns, Jojo Fontelia. Okay, none of these names can't be fucking real, dude. A detective, Emmy Taylor, Alexandria Hawes. Sorry, Alexandria Hall. The worst JoJo. You're right. They got the deposition of Epstein? 22 conclusion. In counsel to include underage females in itself the guise of a legitimate position. Unsurprisingly, Giuffre must find supporting the circumstances of evidence to support her claims. Moreover, because wait, is this the defense? This is plaintiff counsel. Factual background: according to the scope of this case, early pleadings, play long. So, the defendant counsel initially suggested that she may invoke the Fifth Amendment. Instead, during her recent deposition, defendant simply failed to recall many of the most significant events, and she didn't answer the questions. It would not admit the initials GM. GM, which is probably Ghislaine Maxwell. For example, defendant would not even admit that the initials GM, which were on the private flight logs over 300 times, were her initials. Okay. During the deposition, defendant refused to answer numerous questions, refused to acknowledge the basic facts in the case, thereby causing Ms. Giuffre to depose a number of unanticipated witnesses. I forgore. Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay, so the stuff that's highlighted here must be stuff that was unredacted. Services alleged the defendant recruited her and other females, personal assistant, therapist, massages. Johannes Shoberg. How do you pronounce it? Shoberg. Let's try it. May 18, 2016, Shoberg testified that while 20-year-old college student was no massage training, Miss Maxwell, a stranger to her, approached her on the college campus and told her to hire Miss Shoberg as a personal assistant. After Shoberg began working for the defendant inside, the Epstein defendant revealed that Shoberg, her true job was to complete sex acts with Epstein. Defendant was explicit with her instructions. At one point, scolding Shoberg for failing to finish her job. My lord, put her in jail. Because of this failure, Shoberg massaged Epstein without completing the act, and because of this failure, defendant instead had to finish the job herself. And cause Epstein and complete the act. Oh fuck. Testimony that Ms. Shoberg refutes defendant's testimony, and she goes to her credibility. 300, yeah. Okay. Ms. Giuffre, but defendant deposed she refused to answer numerous questions. Defendant filed a motion seeking the alternative relief to staying further proceedings. So she can get more information about whether or not she should plead the fifth and everything. So this is still blacked out. So remember, there is stuff that is still redacted. Remember that. During deposition, however, defendant did not take the fifth and said she testified she suffered from a series of memory lapses and could not recall many of the. Listen, I just selectively forget so much stuff. You don't even get it. As a result, defendant's inability to remember the events, variety of issues are now in dispute. For example, her deposition, she indicated that she lacked recollection on whether she was unable to specifically answer the following questions: whether the defendant first met, and then these are probably a bunch of names here. Whether the defendant can recall being in the plane with blank and Ms. Giuffre, and then this is another name as well. New Sarah Kellen, Ava Dublin, Shoberg. Whether defendant introduced Shoberg to Prince Andrew. I recall Emmy Taylor brought masseuses to Epstein's house. Required to wear while they were giving massages. Laundry basket of sex toys, defendant. I recall paying Giuffre. Whether the defendant could recall Giuffre being at Epstein's New York mansion when Prince Andrew came to visit. Andrew guy. This Andrew guy needs to be sat in the chair. He needs to be glued. He needs to be strapped to the chair, and they need to get every single ounce of information. They need to squeeze this guy. This Andrew guy, I don't like this Andrew guy. Whether the defendant could recall Prince Andrew being present in New York for a party where Johanna Shoberg was also present. Prince Andrew, calm down. Get a hobby, man. Get a hobby. He keeps popping up. Whether a picture depicting Prince Andrew and Giuffre and the defendant was taken at defendant's London home. Produced by Dave Rogers. Whether the defendant could recall Epstein and former President Clinton being friendly towards each other. Whether the defendant could recall purpose of a trip to Thailand with Epstein and former President Clinton. Odd. They went to Thailand? Whether the defendant could recall the purpose of a trip to Thailand with Epstein and Clinton. Clinton. Mr. Clinton, what the hell is in Thailand for you, bro? You only go to Thailand for one thing? Another redacted name. Can recall a 16-year-old Russian girl abused minors in Florida mansion. Criminal investigation. Whether Epstein had a preference for minors. Andrew again. Whether the defendant could recall anything about the puppet or caricature of Prince Andrew and Epstein. Whoa, wait. Whether a defendant could recall anything about the puppet or caricature of Prince Andrew and Epstein's home when Prince Andrew was there, including whether not this Alfredo Rodriguez said defendant had knowledge of underage girls and what they were doing in the mansion. Whether the defendant knew what her press agent Ross Gow was referring to when he talked in an email about helpful leakage. Andrew again. Whether the defendant had discussed Prince Andrew with Prince Andrew any of the details of Miss Giuffre's allegations against him. Bro, he's actually so fucking done for. This guy is so done for. Prince Andrew drinking game. Don't do it, you die immediately. You would simply perish. This guy's the brother to the current king. Holy shit. Come on, Andrew, get your shit together. That must be everybody in the royal family right now. Like, first one of the royal family marries a darkie, and then the other one comes out as a PDF. Like, that was cool back in like the 1400s, but not anymore. It makes them look bad now. Did you ever see when he got interviewed for this? I don't think he was deposed, if that's what you're referring to, but I don't remember him ever being interviewed about this. Giuffre Maxwell recruited her. Johanna confirms that Virginia was underage when she met her in a trip into a casino, and then later Johanna asked Virginia if she was 17 and testified Virginia looked young at the time. The person in the family. He testified that Giuffre had to have 3 massages a day from different girls. Oh, this guy's crazy. I know we already knew he was crazy, but like crazy. Also, be very careful. All right. The reason why I don't pull up, the reason why you're like, I'm not pulling up any like links that I see or people show in chat on stream is because I don't know if any of the links or like pages that people are taking screenshots of are real. People are pushing through a lot of lies right now, and you need to be really careful. You need to be really careful. The likelihood of you passing by something that's incredibly fake is wildly true because people are pushing through, people are like creating fake documents to be able to get like shit online, right? People are like quote tweeting Jimmy Kimmel now, and they're like, did you about like fake leaks fake deposition questions about Jimmy Kimmel and saying that he was on Epstein Island, right? Not real, literally fake, not true. Be very careful. Wait, is this Dershowitz? Wait, Fox News had the Dersh on?
Now, the one point I do want to make is that I understand all the feminist groups and the radicals who think this is the worst thing in the world, that anybody ever had any contact with Jeffrey Epstein. Where are all those radical feminists when it comes to the Hamas rapes of young...
No way. Bro goes, yes, I worked to help get the most like notorious PDF, the most sweetheart deal to ever exist, and I may have, possibly by court documents, be in on it by clearing my own name after I assaulted countless children. But have those people who care about me assaulting children denounced Hamas, bro. This is actually comedic. Wallahi, you're finished. Wallahi, you're finished. Wallahi, you're finished. You're finished. Wallahi, you're finished. Bro, ask Yahweh for some forgiveness, okay? Because you're finished. We might have to boil him. I don't want to say it, but we might have to boil him. You're right. We gotta put him in the pot, cook him up. Bubble, toil and trouble. Cook up the Dersh and get the clues on what Epstein was up to. Turn that man into Campbell soup.
Young Jewish girls, sexual abuse, beheadings. They are quiet. They are silent. The incredible hypocrisy of the Me Too movement. Me Too, except if you're a Jew. And I want
he's actually made rhymes about it. Me Too, unless you're a Jew. All right, brother. Wallahi, you're finished. You're finished. You're so finished. You can listen. You'll have a lot of time to think up more rhymes when you're in federal prison. Oh, unless you're a Jew, then it's Keck W, huh? Yeah, okay, buddy.
Where have you been? You know how much deep shit you're in right now?
Why are you so angry?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because your obsession with middle schoolers! Look at the fucking news. Congratulations, you're not just famous for racing. What am I supposed to tell my agent now? Lightning McQueen is caught sending inappropriate pictures and messages to middle school girls, showing pictures like his exhaust pipe covered in oil. I don't get it. You're a fucking car. We lost so many sponsors. Adidas, Apple. You know you have to show up in court, right?
Fuck.
Not to mention you're all over the newspaper too. Lightning McGroomer? Yeah, that's a new one. I haven't heard that shit before. Oh wait, I've never heard that shit before because you never groomed fucking children before. What the fuck is wrong with you, Lightning McQueen?
They said they were 18. That's the
Who the
truth.
fuck is 18 in the 7th grade? See you in court.
That's a good question. Who is 18 in the 7th? Who is 18 in the 7th grade? That is a good question, Miss. We should ask the Dersh that. What do you guys think? You're obsessed with middle schoolers. You still have a minute left for this? Good Lord. Should we even watch the rest of it?
want to have a list of all the radical feminists who are pushing hard, and I understand that, to get all these names revealed. And I want to know how many of them have ever actually condemned Hamas, for the rapes that we now know occurred and the murders that occurred, how many have been silent, and how many, like the National Lawyers Guild, have actually approved of what Hamas did? So let's put this in context. I'm thrilled that all these papers have come out. I urged them. I went to court. I asked for everything to come out because I knew that I had done nothing wrong and the papers would exculpate me. What I only worry about is that maybe the judges withheld certain documents. I want to make sure every single document comes out, including the documents that cast doubt on the credibility of some of the accusers and some of the accused. The public has the right to see everything and make their own judgment. We do not put the country in guilt by accusation, but guilt by association.
Okay, Mr. Drop the age of consent. I helped the most notorious PDF get off easy. Okay, buddy. I'm now publicly accused of assaulting multiple minors. Okay, buddy. He needed to have 3 orgasms a day. It was biological, like eating. Yeah. I'll just say that I'm not sad that he's gone. I'm not sad that he's dead. I'll say that. Johanna testified that Maxwell let me know that she was not able to please him as much as he needed, and that there were other girls around. She said that she doesn't have the time and desire to please him as he needs. That's why there are other girls around. One was 17 and testified that Prince Andrew sat with Virginia and Johanna and took pictures with a puppet in his image and had its hand and Prince Andrew's hand and on their respective breasts. Johanna testified that Maxwell brought a camera for her and asked her to take naked pictures of herself for Giuffre. Johanna testified that Maxwell would not give the camera because Johanna didn't finish the job when massaging Giuffre. So Maxwell had to do it herself and she was not happy. We don't have to read the rest of that. Maxwell told Johanna to always act grateful to Giuffre. Maxwell called Johanna and the other girls her children when they were on a trip to USVI. David Copperfield. Whoa. David Copperfield was at a dinner at Epstein's, and there was another girl present who looked young, and Johanna asked what school she went to, and Johanna did not recognize the school's name as being a college, and she said it was possible that it was a high school aged girl. Johanna said Copperfield questioned me if I was aware of the girls getting paid to find other girls. Oh, David Copperfield. Well, there's another name. David Copperfield made his career disappear. Yeah, that guy's a magician, right? Dave was charged with kidnapping. This makes it seem like he knows what was going on. He was a magician. Is he dead? Anyways, Johanna testified she heard Giuffre call someone to try to find girls in Hawaii to send over. The Frederick. Who's this? Is this a person? Why can't I highlight the whole name? Thank you. What is this? Frederick Faka. Salons? He has an Instagram. Founder of, how do I pronounce this?
Fakai.
Founder Fakai. Husband, father, province born, New York made. Fakai. Apparently this is a clothing brand. This might be a clothing brand, fashion brand. And the guy, Frederick Fakai, is the guy behind it. French celebrity, hairstylist, and entrepreneur in the beauty industry. Ooh. Oh, to send over the Frederick Fakai. This might be like stuff instead of him personally. Just to be sure, his business is the same name as him. The business is just his name, right? So when they say send over the Frederick Fakai, I think what they're talking about is they own some of his products. French. Fuck that guy. Johanna testified Giuffre told her Clinton. Oh no! Johanna testified Giuffre told her Clinton likes him young, referring to girls. No! This was all redacted, just so you know. Come on, Bill. Johanna testifies that she was naked 25 to 50% of her massages. Johanna testified that Giuffre made her perform terrible acts with toys. Nadia Marcinkova and Maxwell were both with her. And Maxwell and other girls perform massages at the houses. They pay her $200. I'm paying her money to bring me over. They're cheapskates too. Cheapskates for their slaves. Just by the defendant, a defendant called Emmy Taylor her slave. Later, she testified that Giuffre told her one time Emmy was sleeping on the plane and she was getting ready to land. And it woke her up and she thought it meant he wanted a sex act and started to unzip his pants. He said no, that you have to wake him up for the landing. I said that she believes Virginia is saying more about it being abused by Maxwell. Oh, whoa. She said she recalls that defendant went to dinner with Governor Bill Richardson one time, and when Johanna was visiting the ranch in New Mexico. Wait, the governor of New Mexico? Governor Bill Richardson? Wait a second. He's not governor at the moment, is he? Look up his new... Oh, Lord. Oh, fuck. Oh, hell nah, dude. Oh, he's dead. Oh, he just died last year. Oh, he just died. September 1st, 2023. Oh, he like literally just died. Just died. A tour of his ranch. What the fuck? He has like Native American memorabilia in like a British style museum showcase. Yo, bro, this is where he would take little girls. This shit's crazy. He like just... Can you imagine that there are people at this guy's funeral like 2 months ago who are now like having their hands in their head? Like I had no clue that this was the guy that I was that I was chilling with. Serial killer type shit, right? Epstein Ranch. Zorro Ranch? Not Zorro Ranch. Yeah, he left the server before he could pay for his crime. Bring him back so we can kill him again. I do not support killing anybody. Yeah, so this is one of the victims. This is one of the victims' testimony that we were reading. Alessi was one of the employees for Epstein's mansion. Especially Juan Alessi. Employment. Masseuses got younger and younger, he said. He said he would clean up toys. He remembers a girl named Virginia. Maria Alessi, 2016. Man, this has been here for years. Girls, nothing super interesting there. Now, this is stuff that was put away. Defendant refused to admit that her name was reflected in the flight logs despite her initials GM appearing 300 times. Therefore, such authentication is necessary because the defendant testified at her deposition she could not remember even the most basic of things about the flight logs. For example, when asked if GM was her initials, she said, "How do you know GM is me?" Okay. It could be Georgina. It could be George. All right, buddy. You're going to jail. Ronaldo Rizzo. Underage girls. This is one of the people on the prosecution side. Jean-Luc Brunel. Mr. Brunel's deposition is set for June 7, 2016 in New York. He has relevant information because he is known as Maxwell. He has known Maxwell and Epstein for many years. He has been present with Epstein and defendants on many occasions. Epstein's homes in New York, Palm Beach. He has disputed issues of the case. Now, Dana Burns deposition, New York City, and all of this is gone. All of this is gone. Wow. Must be super bad. It's possible. It's very possible that this was crazy. Jojo Fontiella, critical witness because he had worked, he was working for Jeffrey Epstein as a butler in his New York mansion for years. He observed like the girls going through. A detective questioned the veracity of the Palm Beach police reporting containing the accounts of numerous minor children who were abused by Epstein. Defendant referred to at least one of the children as a prostitute, which was false. Bro, are you crazy? All right, Mr. Detective. Emmy Taylor was the defendant's assistant during the time Miss Giuffre was being abused. Miss Taylor is on the flight logs to Europe with Giuffre and other locations in the United States. Johanna Shoberg testified that Emmy Taylor was referred to by the defendant as my slave, and that Miss Taylor trained Miss Shoberg to give massages while Shoberg was naked. Emmy Taylor was also able to testify that she observed experiences during the years that she was a defendant that she was with the defendant Epstein. Miss Giuffre is still attempting to locate Miss Taylor, but she is believed to reside in London. And then all of this is just, oh my Lord. Oh no, could you even imagine what's possibly behind these bars? And this is still redacted. This is the big redacting. Potential co-conspirator, Marcinkova, potential co-conspirator, Sarah Kellen or Sarah Kingston or Sarah Vickers. Why does she have so many names? She's attorney, potential co-conspirator to Epstein, believes she worked as a director or directly under Maxwell and was taught by Maxwell how to recruit females for Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein. He paid these females for sex. He testified defendant lured dozens, if not hundreds of young females, including many underage females, to his residence for sexual purposes. Nonetheless, the case presents numerous challenges that require she take more than 10 depositions, not the least of which is defendant's extraordinary lack of memory about many of the events that appear to have indisputably taken place. Positions, greater motion, Council 2016. Just be aware that at every turn, defendant appears ready to brand Miss Giuffre as a liar and this cannot be believed. Thus, obtaining a witness like Shoberg can corroborate some things that are being told by Giuffre. All right, it seemed like that's it for this. This one is done. Holy, okay, well, I think that was 10. I think that was 10. So we can go 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Holy shit, I'm going to bed. We can't go through all of these, but I want to get through a decent amount if we have the opportunity to. Say Giuffre? I don't know exactly how it's supposed to be pronounced. I heard Giuffre. Could be Giuffre. Defendant, non-redacted declaration of Sigrid and Macaulay's in support of plaintiff's motion. Not all of this is super important. Attached hetero. Sorry, hetero. Attached here too. Well, this one was nothing, just so you know. Johanna Shoberg, deposition by Johanna Shoberg. Oh, but it's so ugly. It's so ugly. What the hell? Here we go. This should be where we're at in the super doc. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. So this is where we are right here. The entire 800 page doc. All right. So now that we know we're on page 166 of 943, let's get rid of this real quick. And then I want to see Trump. Really? Trump comes up literally once. No. Okay. It's still loading. Oh no. Wait, who's talking? Oh, this is Shoberg? Oh, fuck. Oh, it's kind of over. Chat, it might be over. Chat, it might be over. Chat, he might be finished. Chat, he might be finished. Just reading the document. Miss Menninger, objection. Colleague, question. And do you recall where you flew to when you traveled to the first time you were with Giuffre? Answer, we left from Palm Beach and landed in Atlantic City for a few hours because there was a storm in New York City. And then we got back on the plane for a few hours and landed in Turbo? Question, and you still recall landing in Atlantic City? Did you go into Atlantic City? Answer, yes, we went to one of Trump's casinos? Holy fuck, dude. So these are now 2 Trump-owned locations that we knew Epstein was trafficking girls through. So now these are 2 Trump locations that we knew young girls are being trafficked through. Do you recall Virginia at the time, Virginia Roberts being present with you? Yes. Do you recall if she went to the casino? She was underage. I didn't know anything about how old. So Trump's casinos let young girls in? Trump's casinos let minors in? Or did Epstein just have special permission to get young girls through the door? That's my question. Because if I'm wrong, tell me if I'm wrong. You shouldn't be like on the doors of casinos. There's like no persons under 21 or something, right? That shouldn't, like, if you're under 21, you're not allowed into a casino, right? Don't even let you in the door, right? You can't touch the carpet under 18. Let these girls in, big money. Don T. Can minors enter a casino? Most common age restriction casinos in the U.S. Individuals must be 21 or older to gamble, drink alcohol, and access gaming floors. Age requirement is strictly enforced. Children allowed in a casino. Most casinos allow adults to escort their minor children through the gambling areas on their way to lodging.
Very real.
Oh, hell, dude. Atlantic City casinos doesn't really card you sometimes. Oh, so they knew Trump casinos don't like card you like that. And so they could just walk through with trafficked children and just be like, oh yeah, it's my daughter. Haha. I don't even think they were carded. I didn't know how old you were to gamble legally. I just knew she could not get in because of an ID issue. Oh, okay. They couldn't get in. I didn't know anything. Well, no, they did go to the casino. Recall if she was underage. I did not know anything about how old you had to be to gamble legally. Just knew she could not get in because of an ID issue. She and I did not gamble. In your opinion, did Virginia look young? Yes. Wondering why she was traveling with Giuffre. At the time, I did not. Did you later wonder that? Yes. She landed in New York, in the city for half an hour or so. Went to a townhouse. What the fuck? At one point, Ghislaine told me to come upstairs, and we went to the closet, and she pulled out the puppet, the caricature of Prince Andrew, and brought it down. And there was a little tag on the puppet that said Prince Andrew on it, and that's how I knew who he was. And what did the puppet look like? It looked like him, Prince Andrew. And she brought it down to present it to him. And that was a great joke because apparently it was the product from a show on BBC. Whoa. Oh, it's so much worse than I thought. This is what the puppet that they're referring to looks like. All right, so here's the man and the minor that he's gripping very low, mind you. Here's the man and the minor. And then here's the puppet that they keep referring to as the puppet. Shocking. Genuinely crazy looking freaking puppet. This shit makes me... This is crazy, man. I'm genuinely shook. This is the pedo puppet. Shark, please, I want to go to sleep. I'm sorry. And they decided to take a picture with it, in which Virginia and Andrew sat on a couch, and they put the puppet on Virginia's lap, and I sat on Andrew's lap, and they put the puppet's hands on Virginia's breast, and Andrew put his hand on my breast, and they took the photo. I don't remember who took the photo. I don't recall. Do you remember who took the photo? I don't recall. Do you recall seeing Virginia exit the room after that? Ew, yeah. Well, there it is. There's the confirmation of the whole puppet thing. Spitting Image was the satire show from the 80s. They used puppets that look weird like that. They brought it from the old studio. Yeah, it's called Spitting Image Puppet. It's apparently like this hilarious British thing where they build like, you know, those like street like caricature artists. They basically do that, but with like a really ugly puppet version of you, and then they make like, oh no, just do stupid things. Apparently, they got the puppet and then kept it. One's going to the island, the Virginia island, the Virgin Island. Where there's the quote, "Sex stuff happening." You describe it for me. Do you remember an individual by the name of blank that you met during your time on the island? Okay, so there's another name that's redacted here. There's a name that's redacted in this testimony. That's curious. In Palm Beach. So somebody was with Epstein in Palm Beach that she met. Trump, who knows? It could be a victim, just so you know. It could be a victim. Did you observe her to be young when you met her? Okay, so this is a victim. It's just some random victim that we're talking about right now. All of the women were generally young. How long did you work for Giuffre and Ghislaine? 5 years. Oh no, the stenographer like butchering her name. Any females? We got any females around here? Just like to ask. You observe other females giving massages? They redacted a lot of minors at the time? Yes. Hello, fellow females. How do you do, fellow female? Old spitting image skit with Prince Andrew.
Sorry, Mark, can't stop now. Must keep a lady waiting.
Andrew, for heaven's sake, behave yourself.
Sorry, Ma, I've got to go. Doctor's orders.
Doctor's orders?
Yeah, I have to be kissed 3 times a day after meals.
What?
Okay. Yep, that sounds. And I started crying. When I saw that shit. I started crying. Those puppets are nasty. That's just British humor. They love nasty looking things. That's just what they do. Get Giuffre off. Fuck, dude. They were describing a horrible thing that they did to a 19-year-old girl. We're not gonna read that. Just know there was a terrible thing. Have you ever met David Copperfield? Oh, here we go. Yes. Do you recall when you initially met him? Yes. Can you tell me when that was? Sure. Someone called me from the house and said that he would be there, and if I wanted to come have dinner, then I could come meet him. So when I arrived to the house, he wasn't there yet, and I waited with, I believe, Sarah Kellen, another victim, and when there was another girl there, which I had never met and never seen, she seemed young to me, and I asked her what school she went to, kind of prodding to see the area colleges, and I did not recognize the school, so I thought she could be younger than college age, but I did assume, and for my own sanity, that she was the daughter of one of his friends or something. But it possibly was that she was in. So it's possible she was in school. It's possible that the school she referred to was a high school. Sorry, the question is it possible that the school that she referred to was a high school? She said yes. What happened at the dinner, if anything? He did some magic tricks. Did you observe Copperfield to be a friend of Jeffrey Epstein's? Answer, yes. Did Copperfield ever discuss Jeffrey's involvement with young girls? He questioned me if I was aware that the girls were getting paid to find other girls. Did he tell you any of the specifics of that? No. Did he say whether they were teenagers or anything along those lines? He said no. Did you hear or observe Giuffre talking on the phone about Frederick Fekkai? Yes. What did you hear? I heard him call someone and say, Fekkai is in Hawaii. Oh, they weren't talking about the products. They're talking about the guy. They're talking about the guy, dude. I heard him call someone and say, Fekkai is in Hawaii. Can we find some girls for him? And what was your reaction to that? Well, I was massaging and I didn't have a reaction. I tried to remain reactionless the whole 5 years. Did Giuffre ever take you shopping? Yes. Can you describe what happened? Sure. He took me to Victoria's Secret. I believe he picked out everything and went into the room with me, the fitting room, which was very odd. Did he make any comments about the fitting room with you? He joked that one time he was in there with another girl and she said something like dad, but that was all I recall. Did Giuffre ever talk to you? Let me back up a moment. Have you ever been propositioned by anyone to have a baby for someone? Oh, yes. Another PDF name. That's another name drop right there. Fekkai right there. So Fekkai is Frederick Fekkai is another one that's alleged right here, with Giuffre being like, can we find some girls for him? I thought that wasn't allowed. How does he get away with being in the same room? Well, nobody talked about it until now. Oh, being in the same dressing room? I don't know. Like I've been in the dressing room with like a partner before at some point in time. I don't know. I just walked in. I mean, they didn't come in and knock on the door and tell me to get out. I just sat on the bench, you know, while she changed. So I guess it is possible. I think you can do it. Just obviously if you're causing a scene, then they're like, you got to get the hell out of here. Did anybody ask you to have a baby? Yes. Who propositioned you? Giuffre asked me. Did he ask more than once? Yes. And what did he say? Basically, he just said, I want you to be the mother of my baby. Yep. Glad he's gone. I didn't give a flat out no, but I didn't agree. Let me back up a minute. Just a clean question. Did you ever bring friends over to massage Giuffre? No. Why did you not do it? I was living in secret about what I was doing during massages, and I did not want my friends to be. I did not want to know what I was doing. I didn't want anybody coming into that. Was Bill Clinton a friend of Jeffrey Epstein? Objection. Foundation. By Miss Macaulay. Question. Let me back up. Do you know if Bill Clinton was a friend of Epstein? I knew he had dealings with Bill Clinton. No. Oh, no. Mr. Clinton. Yeah, he's got some real questions to answer. I did not know they were friends until I read the Vanity Fair article about them going to Africa together. Did Giuffre ever talk to you about Bill Clinton? He said one time that Clinton likes them young, referring to girls. Do you recall ever taking a trip with Epstein's home in New Mexico? Yes. These Carl with the trip was with. Sarah Kellen was there. Maxwell was there. Do you perform massages? Yes. She says that what Epstein did harmed her, gave her trust issues, relationships with men, many other issues in her life, she says. Did you observe Nadia Massinkova and Maxwell at the house at the same time? And she says yes. Sheesh, this girl's got all the dirt. This poor girl's got all the dirt. I was 18. I'm just gonna skim for the rest of this until I find something else that I think would be important to shout out to you. When you were in Palm Beach, did you observe any other females either topless or naked? Yes, they were skinny dipping. It's hard to believe all this is real, but it's right here in front of me, right? I'm just going to ask that you take a look at that, and you see under the narrative line there's a name. It says reported by Ricari Joseph. Is that the name you recall meeting with a detective, Ricari? Yes, I don't recall his name, only except that he had been following me around and he left me cards like on my car, on my door, and I tried to avoid him for a long time, but I was 21. Oh, we got some redactions over here. Do you have children? No. How old are you now? Can you tell me the first time meeting? Answer. Oh, this is just completely blanked out. Sure, I was sitting on a bench, blank. Redaction. She approached me, asked me if I wanted to work at a house. At the point in my life, I was super spontaneous and willing to skip school. This poor girl didn't know that she was going to be trafficked. It was the end of El Brillo Way. Intracoastal, the house was either white or pink. Helicopter from Saint wherever they were to Little St. Jeff in the Virgin Islands. Oh, she's just describing Maxwell right now. This one's crazy. Pantry. Describing the house. Describing Maxwell some more. Describing the other masseuses. And Maxwell explained what you were doing. Explaining like what the job would be while she was trafficked. Don't drink alcohol and run errands. Went to West Avenue in Palm Beach, but because of Sunday, the stores were closed. Went to Cambridge. For anything. Did you take any massages for famous people? They could have been famous and I would have been clueless. Did you take massages for anyone at the point in time that you worked with Giuffre? No. And you said you remember at the end of the day being paid by Ghislaine? Do you recall any small children calling the house that day? No. She said she just overheard phone calls. Ooh, wait, what is this? I think I missed something. I believe it was West Palm Beach Daily News, in which was like a little bookstore. I remember purchasing and reading glasses for Giuffre and some magazines. Purchase things for the home office besides the printer and cartridge ink. Do you remember anything else? Well, yes, there was one of the specific magazines, Scientific American or something to that effect. It wasn't Playboy. You ever answer phones? Yes. Lady Clinton. What are you all on about? Can't wait for a legal video on this. This is gonna be crazy. I bet they're like everybody with like a vaguely political channel scanning through all of this right now. And the lazy ones are waiting for a full article breaking down all the important information. But yeah, everybody's on this right now. Baltimore, Nicaragua. Sound like you met Emmy Taylor. Yes. How did you meet Emmy Taylor? She was in the house the first day and I work running errands. I realized as a personal assistant type of person. Do you know what she worked for? Well, yes, Ghislaine. It appeared to me that she worked for Ghislaine. Ghislaine is the sort of person told her what to do and where to go. You mentioned her as a slave. She did. It was in a joking way, but she said, yes, that's my slave. You did not see her in any type of slavery situation, not any chains or anything of that sort. So tell me what you remember about the second time you went. Sheesh. Escorted her up to the bath. I was escorted up to the bathroom, was where like 99% of the massages take place. And Emmy Taylor was with me and Giuffre. I remember the order. Right, and we're not gonna like go through literally all of this, but yeah, like obviously massage, the air quote massage took place. I'm kind of interested for where else like Prince Andrew comes up. You know what I mean? Like he seems to be like one of the number one like super criminals here. They're back in Atlantic City in the casino. We never left the casino. They might have been back at a Trump casino. Wasn't obvious at the time. All the shows surrounded little girls. Yeah, going back to law school after this is going to be nutty. Oh yeah, law school teachers are gonna be eating good with this type of stuff. I gotta ask my little sister about this. She probably knows something about it. But when she gets back from school, because she's studying law too. They're like, the free content. I'm gonna be doing this job from. Law teachers are probably like unironically free content. More slop on the plate. No, we didn't even have to wait long for Andrew to come back up again. Fuck, dude. Here it is. Walk to the front door. There was a grand staircase. Can you describe the living room? It was very large. Formal and Giuffre and Virginia and Prince Andrew were there. What were they all doing when they came in? Just socializing? I don't remember. Was she unclothed? No. This is the same room where Giuffre had a desk. It could have been, but I can't remember. Did you go to New York one more time? Yes. How many times did you go to New York? 2 times. This is because only time that you ever met Prince Andrew. Yes. Andrew. Oh, fuck, dude. Tell me what happened with the caricature. All right. And we read this one. Do you remember anything else in the Virginia and the trip other than Prince Andrew and the Phantom of the Opera? Found out one of the girls were 17. Did you observe any drug usage? Not that I recall. All right. Now that we have the big doc, I think those are all the mentions of Trump that we have. Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago's 5, 6, 7, 13 times it seems. Remember, that was Maxwell's deposition where the defendant was introduced at Mar-a-Lago. Now, who is this? Who is this? Maxwell. Giuffre versus Maxwell deposition. Do you recognize this document? I do. Physical features of Ghislaine Maxwell. Answer: I can tell you she had very large natural breasts. I can tell that her pubic hair was dark brown, nearly black. I don't remember any specific birth. What the hell? It's like I'm reading Jordan Peterson, man. When you say you believe you recall him doing that, are you guessing? First time Kentucky was there. Him doing, or were you guessing? I don't. Well, figure this. I don't remember Ghislaine picking me up from Mar-a-Lago. I didn't have my own car. I can only So the only way I could really get on the round was being my dad picking me up. I mean, sorry for dropping me off. Your father was dropping you off places? And so you worked on weekends as well as at Mar-a-Lago, or no? No. I don't know, dude. Giuffre's ties to Trump and Mar-a-Lago seem deeper than Trump really wants to make it out to be. It seemed like a lot of these girls either worked at or were at Mar-a-Lago at some point in time. I want to see some more stuff. Giuffre worked at Mar-a-Lago as a locker room attendant in spa areas. Mar-a-Lago, $9 an hour. In Palm Beach, application for employment. Mr. Boise's knowledge concerning matters issues to the complainant in the plaintiff's pleadings, sworn statements in their litigations, including particular publicity, filed allegations concerning defendant in Alan Dershowitz. It's another person from Mar-a-Lago. Ms. Booth has knowledge concerning the matters at issue, including the date Sky Rogers began working at Mar-a-Lago Club and Human Resources Department at Mar-a-Lago. Fuck. Okay. Well, that's all the mentions of Mar-a-Lago there. The Dersh is here again. Yeah, right? Oh, dude. 139 mentions of Alan Dershowitz. Bro, it's over for him. Yo, it's over for him. Numerous relations with Dershowitz on numerous occasions. Had sexual relations with Dershowitz on numerous occasions while she was a minor. Okay, here we go. This is definitely interesting. Did you ever meet Senator Blank? Sitting U.S. Senator. I don't know what he looks like. I might have. If I told you he was from Maine, what? It should, but I do not recall meeting him. Do you ever remember meeting Prime Minister Yud Barak from Israel? Israeli Prime Minister was on the contact list? I'm shocked. Is an Israeli prime minister, because I would imagine the reason why she's asking this like specific names is because these are people who was like contacted, but was Hamas was not mentioned as of yet. These specific people that were contacted by Epstein, they have a reason to ask if she saw these people specifically. Any foreign president, any Nobel Prize winners, Naomi Campbell. Do I know this person? That name seems familiar. Ooh. Famous black model? Ooh. Naomi, no. Wait, what? Apparently Naomi Campbell's on the list. We're all Charlie on Pepe Silva, but it's real. No. Al Gore, no. Dershowitz, no. Lex Vexner? Is that how you pronounce the name? No. Tom Pritzker? No. Kevin Spacey? I may already ask you, but have you met Kevin Spacey? No. Did you meet Governor Bill Richardson of New Mexico? I want to say that he was supposed to come to a dinner when we were in New Mexico. I don't know if I met him. Jean-Luc Brunel? Yes. You did meet him? Yes. Tell me about that. He was just at the house one time in Palm Beach socializing? Yes. I do not recall him with underage girls. I gave a lot of guest massages. I don't remember their names. So it could have been one of those people, one of those movie stars. You would know? Yes. You would know exactly. Didn't do anything sexual with them. George Lucas? Marvin Minsky? George Lucas? Donald Trump? The Force is George Lucas. No, the Force is dead. George, listen, no confirmation that I've seen yet, but George Lucas might be on the list of contacts. The Lucas Mucus might be on the contacts. This is the only time Lucas is mentioned. He fell to the dark side. He may have always been on the dark side, actually. New meaning to when he said Star Wars was for kids. Did you ever massage Donald Trump? No. Did you ever massage Donald Trump? No. Sorry, I have to ask, but did you ever have sex with Alan Dershowitz in the back of a limousine with Virginia? Giuffre present? Objection? Absolutely not. Do you know who Dershowitz is? I do. Did Virginia ever talk to you about having been with those people? Objection, no. Did you see her with any of these people? Dude, this defense lawyer is like doing the best he can to stop this from coming out. Oddly specific. That's very specific because that's one of the things that another witness said. So she's trying to see if she can corroborate that with this witness as well. That's basically why I think that question would get shot down, because it seemed like a leading question, honestly, but you know, it seemed like it was able to go through because that's why it's here, I would imagine. Or at least she answered the question. Nothing sexual. Oh yeah, so like, just so you know, conservatives are using this bit here about like, did you have sex with Donald Trump? And she says no. They're using this here as like proof that Donald Trump didn't do anything wrong, even though this line of questioning is just specifically about whether or not she gave massages to specific people. They're trying, I think Prosbiak posted saying that Trump has been exonerated. But all this means is that he's on the contact list enough to where they want to ask direct questions about it, which personally I think is not necessarily good for him. Also, I don't think this one came up when I typed up his name, which makes me think that he's probably in here more than I initially thought. Do you know who Alan Dershowitz is? And do you ever see him with Roberts? No. Did Virginia ever talk to you about having the people? Did she tell you that she met any of those people? I believe you saw the police report in reference to a friend of Giuffre named Glenn and his wife. Do you remember them vaguely? Tell me what you remember. I remember that they had an apartment in Breakers Row. I went up there and massaged. It may have been more than once, but I only really remember one time. It was nothing sexual. Neither with the wife nor with Glenn, right? Do you remember the apartment? Oh, so Giuffre had his hands on these people too. Whoever this Glenn character is. Like, remember the same line of questioning that they're using to try to prove like Donald Trump didn't do anything wrong. This person says that she was never asked to do anything sexual with anybody. So obviously I think this person wouldn't see anything sexual. She was never asked to do anything sexual specifically, as far as we know. Not Prince Andrew again, bro. Oh, he's back. Oh shit, he's back. No, I wanted just a couple of questions. Third page towards the bottom, there's a photograph where it begins with, we had a picture taken. Just to orient you, this is the discussion around Prince Andrew meeting you had. Did you meet Prince Andrew any other time? She says no. She says no. Do you remember telling a reporter that? This is back in... Ooh, did you meet Andrew any other time? And then she showed her a picture of when she told a reporter something. This is back in 2007, yes. As you sit here today, does that refresh your recollection that Virginia was sitting in a chair and was sitting in one chair and you were sitting in another chair with Andrew? Yeah. If I said that, then I remember it that way. I'm just trying to remember whether we were on a couch or a chair, but I remember the boobs part, the hands on the boob. Did Virginia say anything about having to meet Prince Andrew? She did not say, she said. Prince Andrew say or do anything that led you to believe that he met Virginia prior to the time? I do not recall. I remember seeing Al Gore. Did you ever see his wife, Tipper Gore? Her name is Tipper Gore? On the island, no. What's your understanding that the lawsuit is here today is about? Okay, I don't think that. Oh no, not Dershowitz again. This is when Dershowitz was saying nothing was happening, and he was calling her a liar, and he was just trying to find people to back her story. What do you understand about the story? She was recruited to give massages, sexual massages, and have sex with people such as Dershowitz and Andrew, but I knew none of that at the time. All right, did you tell them anything? Did you tell during that meeting of anything? Her being recruited to give sex to Giuffre other people? Can you rephrase? Basically that I believed her, even though she never spoke specifically about what was going on. Once I learned everything that happened based on reading the police report, I believe her side of the story. Did she name any famous people? Only Dershowitz came up with the incident in New York puppet. I don't recall. I want to look up Trump again, because I feel like not all of these pages loaded when I looked it up the first time. Did she tell you that she hired a ghostwriter? Did you speak with John Connolly? John Connolly? Wait, isn't this another famous person? Connelly? Wait, not an O, I think with an E. John Connolly? He was first calling me around the time. I think everything was coming around 2006. I don't remember a lot about him. Oh, this might be the FBI guy then. Apparently the FBI guy put words in her mouth. This is a long ass doc. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Long ass doc. Virginia president. A liar. Only Dershowitz came up. Sheesh. Have any knowledge about whether Virginia Rogers was telling the truth? And Alan Dershowitz. Objection. The same. Prime ministers. No. Do you have any knowledge about whether Virginia Roberts is telling the truth about foreign presidents? No knowledge. Okay, so these girls don't know any knowledge. Don't have any knowledge. The deposition concluded. 1:11 p.m. Okay, this girl says she doesn't have any knowledge about whether she was telling the truth or not. Dershowitz in Boston recommended Roy Black in Miami, who asked Fonston to assist. Oh, dude, look at the redactions. The redactions are crazy. I obtained blank, 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 blank yearbooks of 2005. I located blank, blank. Dude, redactions are crazy. But let's see what else we can find. This day, I've still not heard from blank, blank parents. Okay, those are victims. Guy Fonston hand deliver the police station package letters from Alan Dershowitz to myspace.com. So Dershowitz called to assist. Dude, Dersh is like, he might be... We might have to put this guy down as well. Sworn testimony from another Epstein household employees, Alfredo Rodriguez, that Dershowitz was present alone in the home of Epstein without his family in the presence of young girls. Alfredo Rodriguez says Dershowitz was there alone in the house with the young girls. Dershowitz was there pretty often at Epstein's Florida home and got massages while he was there. When asked a question about whether Dershowitz had been involved with massages with young girls, fuck, dude. Dershowitz after feeling joint emotion. Dershowitz alleges if they, Castle and Edwards, had just done hours worth of research and work, then they would have been able to see she's lying through her teeth. They prepared to lie, cheat, and steal. They're unethical lawyers. They can't be allowed to have a bar to victimize more innocent people. This was, bro, he said that on CNN live on air. So Dershowitz is like, he's coming out hard doing the rounds to save himself in the court of public opinion. Now that we're here, I want to really still only 4 mentions. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow. I didn't even notice that. Oh, wow. Look at that. Wow. So what's this? That Johanna Shoberg personally appeared before me and was duly... Oh, this is Shoberg's testimony? Registered professional, certified real-time reporter and notary public... in Florida, that Johanna Shoberg, witness who deposition and is here in before set forth and duly sworn in by me. Such deposition is a true record of the testimony given by the witness. I further certify that I am not related in any way to the parties. The witness, I hereunto set my hands on this 18th day of May 2016. And then, so Shoberg is one of the victims who were trafficked, who knows a lot. She's kind of up there with like Virginia with how much she knows. And this is her deposition, That's just pages and pages and pages of black bars. All of this has been, the entire page has just been blanked out, period. That's just it. Look at all this, man. All of it. Literally all of it. Gone. So we're sitting there and the pilots told me to go back, and we tell them we can't land in New York. We're going to have to land in Atlantic City. Giuffre said, great, we'll call up Trump and we'll go to, I don't recall the name of the casino, but he said we'll go to the casino. What happened with an ID issue? He said you're not allowed to gamble. Yeah, bro, he said we'll just call up Trump. He's like, great, we'll just call up Trump, bro. Yes, we went to Trump's casino. Wow. More stuff. I want to get through all of this just to make sure that all these pages are accurately loaded. This is crazy. But I think I think this is it for now. I don't think there's anything else here. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else here. I think this is just it, everyone. I think we I mean, obviously we haven't specifically read through everything, but I think we've seen a decent amount of stuff. What do you all think, huh? Go to page 139. Oh yeah, wait. There's some stuff about Stephen Hawking. Was that true? From Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell. You can issue a reward for any of Virginia's friends, acquisitions, family that came forward to help prove her allegations are false. The strongest is the Clinton dinner and the version of Virginia, Virgin Islands, that Stephen Hawking participated in an underage orgy. Fucking what? What? He can't fucking type. Bro, he's illiterate. All he knows is pedophilia. Stephen. Past drug abuse. Exhibit 2. 3 times a day keeps the brain cells away, right? His brain is shriveled. He can't type, yeah. Page 139? Right, what's on 139? And then you saw her under a towel during a massage. So anytime that you recall seeing Ghislaine naked, no. Ask you a couple of questions. Did you ever see anybody famous? Whoa, wait, what? Did you ever see anybody famous when you were with Giuffre? I met Michael Jackson. Well, everyone, if you're holding out any doubts that he wasn't that guy, I'm sorry. It seems like he was that guy. I'm sorry. It seems like he actually was that guy. If like the documentaries and the testimonies and like the back and forths and like the evidence that's been sprinkled out had not convinced you, it seems like he's that. I'm sorry. It seems like he was one of the worst guys in his spare time. Least surprising ones. Michael Jackson. He's 100%. Okay. Oh, really? Where was that? At his house at Palm Beach, at Jeffrey's Palm Beach house. Did you massage him? I did not. Anybody else remember? I know you mentioned David Copperfield earlier. Anybody else? No, I remember that. I believe you also testified that you had never massaged before you started working with Giuffre. He said Michael Jackson? Holy. It really was a thriller. Did Maxwell ever ask you to bring other girls over? Yes. What happens if we just type famous? Because they seem like they like to ask this question a lot. They could have been famous. I didn't know. You were asked about the famous people. You said you met Michael Jackson. Yes, but you did not give him a massage. No. There are other famous people, perhaps, who were around Giuffre at the home, but that you didn't meet, correct? Correct. Though whether Virginia Roberts has told the truth. Yes, seemed like that's just it. Oh my, there's so much more to come out. Holy. There's so many names. So many names. Yeah, oh, but yeah, like, anyways, Prince Andrew is finished. Okay, so who else is finished? From what we've seen so far. Andrew's finished. Dershowitz finished. Michael Jackson, I mean, he's kind of been finished. Donald Trump, he's teetering on finished, if I'm going to be honest with you. He's getting closer to finished. Andrew who? Prince Andrew, Duke of York, from the United Kingdom British royal family. Oh yeah, like former New Mexico governor, done. Completely done. Thomas Pritzker. Who's Thomas Pritzker? American billionaire and heir businessman. A member of the Pritzker family. Occupation. Parents. Illinois governor is a Pritzker? Oh no, dude. Pritzker? A Pritzker? Like how do they have? Yeah, Illinois governor is a Pritzker. Apparently, like this guy. Apparently this guy's like family member possibly is like a giga criminal. This only comes up once, but I feel like that's untrue. From what I'm seeing here, that's not true. But to ask you a question of how many times you've had sex with Tom Pritzker. This is from Giuffre's deposition. If I were to ask you a question about how many times you've had sex with Tom Pritzker, do you know what that question means? I believe so. All right, what is the answer to the question? I believe I was with Tom once. Do you recall meeting Tom Pritzker? No. Says Shoberg. All right, well, we don't have all of the names yet, but it seems like that's all of the names as of now. There are going to be more though, so this is just drop 1 so far. All right, guys, but somebody said something about like Stephen Hawking liking quote midgets. That seems to be false and fake. That seems to be a fake thing that somebody read that was untrue and incorrect. Once again, be careful about the things people are saying. Be very careful about the things people are claiming about what's in this document. It was a fake screenshot from Twitter. I'm telling you, you'll understand your like elderly family members once you fall for internet propaganda the same way they do on Facebook. I'm telling you, the Gen Z falls for TikTok and Twitter bullshit just like the Facebook boomers do sometimes, and it's quite sad. TikTok tankies and Twitter Nazis, yep. I can see people editing famous trans people. Oh, obviously. Alan Dershowitz says a ceasefire is bad for life. And then it just came out that Epstein forced a young girl to do terrible things with Dersh. Yep, hate to see it. I'm back, people. You're not immune to propaganda. You're not. Some of y'all be geezer posting. I hate to say it. Some of y'all be in your mid-20s and be geezer posting. It's a sad world we live in. Ain't that right, chat? It's a sad, sad world. Come here. Come here. Oh. Hi. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo.